live. Hello, folks, and welcome to Geek Chat 4 with my good mate to my right, Badger Phipps, who's a fellow YouTuber, and I'll let Badger introduce himself and we'll speak a little bit about him in a second. But yeah, it's just another casual sit down, and we're going to be the only thing we've got kind of planned is to do a top 5 of our physical media collections. So those are not really for picture quality. It's a bit of everything, really. It's just going to be why they're important to us. It might be the artwork, it might be the actual release is special, the movie. But yeah, we'll do that, and we'll do a kind of exchange. So Badger will do his 5, and I'll do mine, and then we'll work our way down. But the comments are working, so that's a relief, Badger. The last time I did this,
Awesome.
working, so that's a good start straight away. First time I'm doing it on my new laptop as well, hence a different background because it doesn't really suit to sit in the usual backdrop for me. So this is the nice room. This is the the one that the wife's got the decorative control over. None of my geeky stuff's in here. But yeah, so Badger, before we get started, do you want to just kind of introduce yourself to the people that are watching and tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel, mate?
Yeah, sure. I have a YouTube channel which I use to mainly review films. I also do review video games every now and again, the occasional vlog, and I also use it to promote my voice acting as well. So I've got some content out there where I'm either doing impressions of other characters from films. Like I've done Smaug the Dragon, Kratos from God of War, and I've also done like Pinhead. And yeah, that's just it really. It's just my passion for film. Outside of that, obviously I do voice acting. That's my main gig. And if it's not that, I'm on Instagram sharing my love for physical media, because like you, I'm a huge fan of physical media. And that's mainly.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what your top picks are, because as much as I see your physical media, because I follow you on Instagram, keen to see what you've got that's special to you. But yeah, we definitely got into the voice acting, Badger. I'm really keen myself just to learn a little bit about that, because I think that's really cool. But yeah, what's your kind of earliest memory of movies or film? What was it? What was the first time you experienced that kind of the magic of cinema, shall we say?
Wow, yeah. I would say it was when I was 4 years old is my earliest like memories of being obsessed with film. So I was born at the end of 1991. In fact, I turned 31 in 6 days.
Daddy club, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, I was back in those days, this was before DVD came out. I was watching VHSs, and yeah, my earliest memories were typical, Disney stuff. We're talking Lion King, Aladdin, that type of thing, and eventually Toy Story and stuff like that. It's all the good stuff. And I was infected by film back then. It actually, in the beginning, it kind of did me a disservice because I was a very annoying, obnoxious little infant who was also madly inspired by Jim Carrey. So I was a wacky pain in the butt man, like in class. I was the class clown, and not the charming type. People did not like me, you know what I mean? So it did me a disservice, but eventually it did grow. And thankfully it didn't do me any damage. I was watching mature stuff very young, and it didn't do me any harm. So at like the age of like 7, 8 years old, I was watching stuff like Die Hard and Predator, Alien. And as horrible as it all was, and it scared the bejesus out of me, freaking awesome. Do you know what I mean? That's so good. I've been watching like Terminator since like the start, you know what I mean? And RoboCop as well. These are all horrible. They're very violent, especially to an infant, but I was mesmerized by them. And my opinion of those masterpieces has not really changed. You know what I mean? I still love them. And yeah, it just became a full-blown obsession for me. Like, what 9-year-old avoids buying toys just to buy the DVD steelbook of Terminator 2? Do you know what I mean? It's very peculiar, but I didn't know what it was.
Badger early on, then the sounds of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But my love for physical media, strangely enough, has only been recent because I sold all of my DVDs when I was in my early 20s, because I was a student and I had to, pay bills and blah, blah, blah. So I just sold them all. Plus, it was clutter. It was a load of clutter. I had no use for it. It was just stuff that was there making my room a little bit messy. And so I went a good 7-8 years without having any physical media, but it was only a few years ago. About 2 years ago, I started becoming obsessed with it again. And I've decided, like, nah, this is far better than all the streaming I've been doing the past, like, 7 years or something. This is way better. So I've been sticking with it. I've got, like, nearing 300 Blu-rays now, some DVDs. I'm just recollecting it all again. Obviously, I've gotten more involved in the physical media aspect on Instagram. It's how I met Ellis, aka Total Movie Recall, who you had last time. And that's how
a legend himself.
And yeah, cool. That's how I got in contact with you and all that. And yeah, it's been awesome. So yeah, it's been a good community to get involved with. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, mate. That was something that I kind of underestimated and didn't really expect myself when I came into the YouTube space, and then I created Instagram just as a kind of support social media handle, if you like, for Instagram. And I don't know how much traffic that actually brings to the channel, but the byproduct has been meeting guys like yourself. There's loads of people on there that share their physical media collections. You've been one of them, Ellis being another. Like,
yeah.
You do it as good as Ellis, and no offense to you, but to you, Badger, or to me, because I like to share my pictures as well. But I think Ellis has got a really awesome Instagram, and he's really good with his stories and whatnot. Yeah, it's great. It's a great platform, YouTube and Instagram, to meet like many people, because I think physical media is becoming a niche thing, and chances are, I mean, I'm fortunate to have a decent like network of friends around me out with YouTube, but none of them are really into. They like the movies, but they all think I'm mental for buying 4Ks and collector's editions. So I know there's guys like you out there that understand and appreciate it at least. So that does me fine. I'll just read out some comments quickly, Badger, before we get further down the rabbit hole. So who we got in the stream? We've got Video Tasty says, "Hey, you guys." Cheers for jumping in. We've also got Jim's Retro Emporium saying, "Evening all." Jim's another really cool guy. He's got a shop in the Isle of Man. I don't know if you know Jim Badger.
No, I don't think so, no.
I've never been to Isle of Man, but I want to go now just to visit Jim's Retro Emporium.
Cool, man. I'll check it out after this.
Definitely. The Campfire. So Campfire's a good mate of mine back in school days. He's also the mod for this chat, so any crap in there, hopefully. That's why he's got the hammer emoji.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Also, is in the chat, folks. So keep it clean. Video Tasties is speaking awaited. So Video Tasties and Jim are pretty pally. They've been on stream together. Campfire. Name's not doing. You're not getting in evening trips. So Bobby Hogg is my dad, folks, and Badger. So he's saying, "What voice can Badger sing? Can you, mate?"
Oh, that's very kind. Yeah, kind of. Not properly. But yeah, that's very kind though. Thank you, man. Thank you, Daddy Electric Geek.
You'll be chuffed with that shout out, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
Good supporter of the channel, my dad, so he is. Although he doesn't like it when I swear. He always gives me a hard time when I swear on videos.
Well, speaking of which, you better be warned that I've got Tourette's. That's
a nice way to get it in there, Badger, right? Just to warn people.
Oh, yeah, actually, I'll inform them that dead quick. The reason why I'm squeezing this all the time is to channel my mind into something else, because I do have full-blown Tourette's. So if you hear me like making ticking noises, maybe mumbling or swearing or coughing or doing something weird, that's what it is. So yeah, I'm just doing this to distract my mind all the time. So yeah, so if he doesn't like you swearing, he won't like me.
I'm making my dad sound like a brute here. He's an ex Sergeant Major in the British Army. He swears quite literally like a trooper. He just doesn't like it when I do it. Probably just the whole father-son thing going on. But don't worry, he's not going to be offended, mate, by anything. Yeah, I can assure you.
Cool, man.
He's tough as old boots, my dad.
Oh,
anyway, so where were we? So yeah, so your channel, as I say, I genuinely enjoy it, mate. That's why you're on. Like we said off stream before we came on, this is a kind of like, not that my channel is like any official authority or anything, but if you're on my channel, it's because I genuinely, like you as a person, and or I watch the channel, and in that case, it ticks both boxes there, Badger. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Badger's channel, as I say, there's a link in the description. You can check it out. His reviews are awesome. You've got a good style, mate, and obviously the voice goes a long way. Your voice is really unique, and you use it well in the videos. But you're also bang on with your reviews. I think rarely have I watched one that I haven't kind of agreed with, and you do it in a good way. You don't try and ram your thoughts down people's throats. You're quite kind of yeah, you can be quite kind of diverse in the way you go about it. But no, definitely check it out, and you can get Badger's Instagram on the ticker tape also.
Legend,
So,
thanks.
no worries. So the voice acting, mate. Tell us how you got into that. Did you come out the womb with that voice, or? Because I thought, people think that I've got a deep voice, mate, right? My mates used to call me the bumblebee because that's what I sound like when I talk, right? And I thought mine was deep. And then I met yours, and I sound like a choir boy compared to you, mate.
Why, thank you. I can't do that. That hurts if I do that long enough. Yeah, no, I did not come out sounding like this. Goo goo gaga, mummy get me Terminator. No, it wasn't like that. Yeah, the whole thing has been a weird one. Actually, how I got into this whole thing is not even close to being what you'd expect it to be. Believe it or not, it's from music. I'm an ex-musician, I guess you can call me. So back in the day, I started learning how to play guitar when I was 15. Was self-taught, and I got really good at that kind of thing. I was playing guitar all the time at college. I went to music school, music uni, and I got really good at recording and singers and other musicians and all that. But something happened where I spent a good 7 years working on my music. 7 years I was working on like multiple albums and EPs.
Right, okay.
And they're finished now, but they're not out yet. I finished composing them. I spent 7 years working on these albums and EPs. And my music, I eventually went on to make electronic music combined with live instruments. So I made these really weird, quirky songs. And what was it? Yeah, this is the bit that no one would expect. I had this personality, this concept album with my music. I came up with this story about me, Badger, getting possessed by the spirit of a dead badger. Yes, and I actually got a good friend of mine to draw loads of artwork off this badger character, so it looks like a human being, but it's just a badger in the shape of a human, but he has long dreadlocks. Because before my hair fell out, I used to have.
Yeah, I didn't have dreadlocks, mate.
So, brother, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, man. By the way, what was yeah? I came up with this character called Bass Badger. That's my artist alias. The music was supposed to be made by the humanoid badger, and so I came up with his voice, and it's a really silly, exaggerated Cockney accent. Like, you can't really imagine anyone literally sounding like this, but it's supposed to be silly, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And that's how he sounded. And he was this annoying, obnoxious, cynical badger. He was an absolute turd. You humans make no sense to me. I don't like any of you cocks. He was horrible, right? So in between the songs on my albums, you could actually hear skits where there would be voice actors and stuff, including
bridges between like the songs. Yeah.
Right. So like Eminem has done that loads. In between his songs, you get some voice acting parts, some comedy skits, and that's what this would be. So I was telling the quirky story of me getting possessed by the spirit of a dead badger. That's how I got into voice acting. It was in my early 20s. I came up with this random character to fit in with my music, and I found a strong passion for him. I loved it. And after that, after I was doing that, other people wanted me, like friends wanted me to voice act for their projects, because some of my friends were into filming. They wanted me to do that. I got into it. I got deeper into it and found out I had a passion for it. And lo and behold, something else happened. My voice started changing. And I've only sounded like this the past 3 or 4 years, I'd say, like this. Yeah, I wasn't like this, like, I don't know. I wasn't like this in my early 20s, put it that way. I was doing this before my voice changed. And when it did change, it just opened up the doors a bit more for me. So, yeah, I then started advertising myself online. I got hired by multiple companies. I've gotten involved in loads of projects and stuff. And it's been a strong passion of mine. And eventually as well, I did finish the music. Eventually, I finished it 2 years ago. I finished composing everything. But I absolutely hated it. I learned to truly hate doing it. But the only reason why I wouldn't stop, and I made sure to finish it all, was because I paid loads of money to get the musicians to perform on my tracks. I wanted to make sure that it went somewhere, it had a good use. So I finished it all off. and I swore to never do this again because I grew so sick of it. So ever since then, the past 2 years, I've given up on music and I've moved full on into film as much as I can. So I'm learning how to write screenplays now. I'm going to film school next year in September. I've gotten more involved in film and voice acting, sharing my love for physical media, starting a YouTube channel where I get to express my love for film. That's what got me all into it. So the whole voice acting thing was a complete accident. I was not expecting all of this to come from making up a dickhead badger, you know what I mean, mate? Yeah. Just wasn't expecting it. It makes no sense. So I've been involved in some weird projects. Some of it has been strange. Some of it has been awesome. Some of it's been very successful. And I'm flattered by everything. I'm flattered by all of it because I wasn't expecting any of this to happen at all. You know what I mean? It's weird. So yeah, long. That was a long answer, but there we go.
It's a talent to have, though. I remember, like, it was the first when you did the first live stream, or not live stream, but the first video, kind of podcast video with Ellis of Total Movie Recall channel, folks. I didn't know you at that point, Badger, and he said, "Yeah, I've got this channel, and my mate Badger's coming on to do the first one with me." And I'm like, "All right, cool, I'll definitely watch it. You know, send me the link when it goes." And boom, I hit the link, and I went. I'm like, "Okay, Badger, right, cool." And then Ellis introduces it, and then you start talking, and I'm like, "Wow, man!" Like, probably the way like my dad was a minute ago. I was like, this guy has got a serious voice. And I actually joked with, I can't remember if I put it in the comments or if I put it, or if I just said to Ellis, but I said he could totally do voice acting, like he's got the voice for it, not knowing that you actually did. But no, it's a talent you've got, mate, and I find it amusing. I've watched some of your videos and obviously see your little skits on Insta and stuff. But you've done a few games, haven't you? You've done what games have you done? Any ones that I would?
Sure. Well, the first one that I was in was Hunt Down, and it was a strange side-scroller indie game. It was quite peculiar because it was so reminiscent of old school, like Sega side-scrolling shooters. It almost looked like Streets of Rage combined with Contra, old school. Now, that was actually my first big gig that I did. The problem was, though, I'm not complaining, but I was voicing one of the earlier boss battles. And I had to do like a load of death screens, like when you kill the boss. And I was loving it. Like the dialogue was cheesy. It was purposely bad. I loved it. And I was so into it. Problem is, though, eventually they told me this. They replaced me with someone else. Now, I'm not complaining because, to be fair, the other guy, the new guy, suited the character better than I did. The character was called Bad Boy Bob. That's how silly it was. And yeah, he suited the role better than me, so that's fine. However, my death screams, they did recycle and used it for various henchmen. So if you kill them...
Or like, did you still get credited for that?
Yes.
Oh, right. I say they didn't credit you for it.
No, they did. So they put my death screams in there. So anytime you kill, like
you're killing
you hear me going, ah! I do all that stuff. In the credits, they used my birth name though, because my birth name is Damien. So in the credits, you'll see Damien Phipps as like various voices, which was so flattering. But that one for me was a big deal. The craziest element of all of that for me though is that I'm a big fan of the YouTuber Angry Joe. And Angry Joe, he does a load of movie reviews, but also video game reviews. He's got millions of subscribers. Big name.
I don't know how I've missed him. I'll definitely need to check him out then.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, Angry Joe, he's just wonderful. And I've been a fan of him for almost 10 years now. And next thing you know, he's doing a video on Hunt Down, and in the background, you can hear my screams. And I was like, couldn't believe it. It was so humbling. I was like, he's not like the biggest thing in the world, but it's like, for me, it was like, I've been watching you for 10 years and I can hear my voice in the background of your video. This is great. Yeah. So that's cool. But yeah, one of my last projects that I did that was big is that I was the small side quest giver in a online like RPG game called Last Epoch.
I've just seen the video you did on that. Yeah, like videoing yourself recording the audio for it.
That's right. I recorded, and you will be able to hear them in the headset of the video. the developers are actually in my ears. They're listening to me.
That's right. I've seen that.
Yeah. So for 2 hours, they were guiding me on what to do. And so I was just playing as a side character who gives you like the quests and that kind of thing. And, bring me those soul embers, mate, and that kind of thing. So I was doing all of that, and it was really flattering. But sadly, because I don't play on PC or anything like that, I can't play the bloody game. So
I don't know.
I've barely heard myself. I have seen my voice used in a couple of clips. I have got some footage of it. Hardly any. So it's not
involved in though.
Sorry?
I think it's awesome though. It's still such a cool thing to be involved in. Just going to read a couple of comments, mate, and then I'm going to ask you a few more things about the voice acting. So we've got Ellis in the chat that totally me recall. Oh, that's best voice in the business.
Thanks, buddy.
He said it. It must be true, mate. Badger can sing. I can testify.
How can you testify? I don't remember singing to you. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, wait. Yeah, I was trolling him. I was joking around with him. Yeah, okay. Okay, sorry, mate. I take it back. You're not a liar.
Pretender guy. It's Pete over at Pretender guy. I was on Pete's stream a few weeks ago. Hey, everyone. How's it going, Pete? Cheers for joining us. Yeah, so just fire the comments down. Well, I should have said at the beginning, just ask us anything along the way, and I'll try and stop regularly. If it's for Badger or for myself or for both of us, just whatever you want to ask us, this is the time to do it, and we'll answer them, obviously. So just fire away, folks. But yeah, so see, the voice acting, Badger, just on that. Do you know the minute I heard you speaking, or maybe the first time I heard you like play around like with a voice? The first thing that came to my mind was the salesman dude from Resident Evil 4. I was like, you sound so like him, right? And I'm thinking, there's a Resident Evil 4 remake on the cards, mate, right? There's a Resident Evil 4 remake on the cards. So if anyone from Capcom's watching, that's your track. Come on, do it. You know what I'm talking about. You can say a line, mate.
What are you buying? What are you selling? Now that's a weapon. What a masterpiece, man. I can't wait for that remake. Remake is going to be banging. I can't wait.
Oh, do you know what? Shamefully, my brother will be on the channel at some point as well. Yeah, we're going to maybe do some like kind of playthroughs of old retro games, I think, or he might just come on as a guest one time. Because he's right into gaming and stuff and movies. So he's going to come on at some point. But he was massive into Resident Evil 4, and I remember watching him play it. I think I'd kind of drifted away from games for a bit. Too busy chasing women, I think, at the time. I'd kind of at that age, so I was in the pubs and stuff. But he was still playing it. So I've never actually played Resident Evil 4, but I feel like I have because I've seen so much of it watching him. So I'm excited for the remakes. That's my first time, hopefully, of jumping on and actually playing it. So no, looking forward to that. But Badger, even better if you were voicing that guy.
Why, thank you. That would be peculiar, but yeah. It would just be strange playing that guy. That guy was weird, but yeah, by all means, go for it. Capcom, if you want to pay me thousands, let's go for it, man. Let's go for it.
See, the Campfire's a fan of Resi. I'm assuming this crying laughing face is at the Resi 4 banner. I'm sure you'd agree that you're the right man for the job, mate. So, will we jump into the physical media side of things, mate? We've been talking for about half an hour. I think we've got to know you a bit better. If you want to know anything more about Badger, then just obviously fire the questions in the comments, folks, and we'll look back around it. I'm sure Badger will be happy to answer.
Gladly.
Campfire sounds exactly like him.
See what you do to me, Andy. See what you're doing now. You got me unwanted attention now. You see that?
I'm spreading the word, mate. I'm spreading the word. I'm like your agent here. Yeah. So Badger and I, just to give some kind of structure, folks, to the stream, we decided we're both physical media guys, and we'll go on to speaking about what we've been watching, movies-wise, TV shows, and a bit of gaming. But we thought we'd do our top 5 kind of collector's pieces or just movies that mean something to us. Not necessarily 4Ks, Blu-rays, whatever they are. I've got one Blu-ray and the rest are 4Ks because it's me. But yeah, so seeing as you're the guest, Badger, you can start us off. So I know you've got an honourable mention there, so this might be a good time to lead with that. But if you want to give us that and your number 5, then I'll frantically put mine into order. How you do that?
Sure, man. Why not? Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is my honorable mention. Oh yes. Yeah, Battle Royale, man. The 4K Arrow version of Battle Royale. It comes with the extended cut on it as well, which I do prefer over the theatrical cut. And the slip cover is bloody awesome. Yeah, Battle Royale means the absolute world to me. Now, I'm not much of a gore hound, so the violence in it, what I love about the violence in it is that it's not there to be entertaining. It's depressing, it's hard to watch, and it really does affect you in the way it's supposed to. I'm not much of a fan of gore in films, so the fact that it's used here to disturb you and it's not pleasant, that's up my street, because gratuitous violence tends to bore me. But here I just felt like it was used effectively. Although the school children forced to murder each other in 3 days, horrible to watch. But it was incredibly powerful, and that film just might be in my top 20 of all time, possibly. And the 4K is fantastic. So yeah, I love it so much. I almost feel ashamed to not have it in the top 5.
I feel ashamed as well for different reasons, mate. Because 1, I've not seen it. Wow. And 2, to make matters even worse, I have it. I have that exact copy that you've got, and it's the only 4K in my collection. And I think I've got 150 4Ks now, something like that. It's the only one that I've not actually watched. I bought it when it was on sale because I hadn't seen it, and I wanted to watch it, and I just haven't got around to watching it. But you know what? Now that you've brought it up here, it's going to the top of the list as a must watch.
I was about
looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to watching it. So there's different cuts on that, isn't there? What one would you recommend I watch firstly?
Yeah, I definitely said a director's cut. It's only about 10, 15 minutes longer, but just adds a little bit more backstory, yeah. And I'm glad that you said that you are going to watch it soon, because I was about to leave you. Just that's good. Good. You saved yourself, Andy. Well done.
Thanks, no, that's I know that Battle Royale was like in a lot of top 100, isn't it? It's like, favorite films, so I totally get why it's had an honorable mention, and as you say, it would make your top 20. I'm trying to think what my honorable mention should be then out of these. I'll tell you what, you do your number 5, mate, and I'll have a think.
Why not? Jesus Christ, what could I say about this one that hasn't been said a million times before? The next one is Green Mile on 4K. Now,
awesome.
Now this film means everything to me. I can't remember the director, Frank Darabont. There we go.
Yep.
He also did Shawshank Redemption and all that. But unpopular opinion, I always preferred this one a lot more than Shawshank, which I know I'm on an island there, but hey ho, this one means everything to me. It makes me cry all the time. Every time I watch it, I cry my eyes out. And I love the film so much, I couldn't just get the normal 4K version. I had to get this big box set. Had to. So it does come with the regular 4K in there. But you've also got the extra features like this. There we go. This cover's freaking awesome. Comes with booklets and posters and that kind of thing. And I do not want to open up any of it because I love it all so much. This is awesome. And Michael Clark Duncan as John Coffey. Truly a stunning performance. Him on the front cover with that face breaking my heart. Yeah. Love it. It's a masterpiece. That there's no debate. That film is in my top 20 as well, if not my top 10. That film is on a whole new level for me. It's the best of pretty much anything for me. Best Tom Hanks performance, best film I've seen based on a Stephen King book. All of it. It's
what's Stephen King's thoughts on it? I can't. Is it one of the few ones that he actually rates?
Sorry?
What I'm saying? Do you know what Stephen King's thoughts were on it? Because I know that he's kind of notorious for disliking a lot of the adaptations of his books.
Yeah. I actually do not know. I do know that just like Shawshank Redemption, it's based on a short story. It's a long film that's based on a short story. Frank Darabont's done that twice now. I'm not too sure what he thought of Green Mile, actually. But you're right. He is notorious for bashing on a lot of his films based on his books. But yeah,
Shining most famously, isn't it? The Shining's the one that he really disliked.
that's right.
But no, I haven't seen The Green Mile in a long time, mate. But I remember watching it with my grandparents when it came out. So I must have been about, what was it, 98? Must have been like 12 or 13. And it totally moved me then. As a little kid, it kind of stopped me in my tracks. And I seen Shawshank Redemption much later in life and enjoyed it. But I'd probably agree with. I'm not going to say that it's a better film than Green Mile, but I would say the one it resonates with me more than Shawshank Redemption. Maybe just because I watched it when I was younger. But I definitely think it pulls on the heartstrings more. It's a much more kind of warming film, I would suggest, than the Green Mile.
I would say so, yeah.
Great movie, great choice, mate. So for my honourable mentions, what will we go with? We'll go with ones that I haven't even opened. So how on earth could they be in my top 5 if I've not even opened them? So these are ones that I picked up and I actually plan on covering on my channel, mate, as a kind of unboxing. I'm saving them for like a slow news Monday when I don't have anything because they've been out a while, so they're not like hot off the press. But I picked these up. Didn't think I would pick these up because they were expensive, but I managed to get them sealed off the second-hand market. So I'm really looking forward to watching them. But first honourable mention, and it probably will end up one of my favourites in my collection, is the 50th anniversary. Sorry about the light there. The 50th anniversary Godfather trilogy edition. So you see, it's still got the cellophane on it. I didn't pay over £100 for this, as it still goes for. I was fortunate enough to get it off someone that was kind of flogging their collection in a Facebook group. Wow. And I pounced at it, but I'm really looking forward to watching that. I know that it comes with brand new 4K restorations of all 3 movies, but also the newest edition of Part 3, which I've not seen yet. So the Godfather Coda, the death of Michael Corleone. Have you seen that one, Badger?
No, the thing is, though, I do actually own, not that exact copy, but I do have the 50th anniversary version on 4K. Still haven't seen it yet, though. I've heard that the copies are phenomenal. Yeah. And I've heard that the what was it called? The third one. I think the new version. It comes with the new version. My one. The third one's called The Death of Michael Corleone or something like that.
Yeah, Coda. Godfather Coda. The Death of Michael Corleone. I think it's.
Yeah, I've heard it's a bit strange from what I've heard. I've heard it's just very peculiar. Like it's called The Death of Michael Corleone, but it doesn't show the death of Michael Corleone. It's like, what?
I didn't know that.
So that's what I've heard. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I will check it out soon because yeah, I'm obviously a fan, a big enough fan to get them on 4K. I've got them, and what you've got there looks bloody phenomenal. I didn't know that existed.
I wish I could open it. It wouldn't do justice on this live stream. That I'll probably do that. I'll probably keep it sealed, and when I go to watch it for whatever reason, I'll maybe do an unbox of it then, so I can kind of show it in all its glory. Wow. But no, really excited. So glad to have it. I think they're classic movies. I did have them on DVD way back in the day. Just to touch on what you said, mate, I used to have a lot of DVDs. I used to work in Blockbuster Video. That was where my love of kind of physical media started. And even before that, my granddad, that I'm named after, he's called Andy as well.
Oh, man.
Right into his movies. And he collected VHS tapes. A modest collection, but for me as a young boy, it seemed like the little cabinet he had seemed like a wall of movies. And it was all the same ones, mate. It seems like people like me and you, everyone in this YouTube space grew up on the same movies. Like maybe that's messed us up in the head, like RoboCop, Die Hard, all the ones we shouldn't have been watching. It seems like a prerequisite to have a channel and to be into movies. But yeah, that's my honourable mention. It's probably, I don't think anyone would argue if I'd put this at number 1, but the only reason it's an honourable mention is because I haven't actually opened it. That's the only reason. And just very quickly, the other honourable mention is the Back to the Future box set. So this is a fancy, done like a kind of like the plutonium from the first movie in the opening sequence, and inside it is the standard, again not open, but inside it is just the 4K box set, which again is unopened. I've not seen these yet. I've seen them all obviously, but I've not seen the 4K versions. So these are pretty kind of cool pieces that are in my room through there on the shelf, like nice collector's pieces, but I haven't actually watched them, so they're honourable mentions. But I thought, just seeing as they were fancy, I'd give them a shout out.
Wow, yeah. That's awesome, man. I love that. I haven't actually seen the films in 4K yet either. But yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, my wife likes them, so I think for some reason, I know they're not Christmas films, but they feel Christmassy. Back to the Future. So I think I'm going to keep them for around about then and watch them then. Campfire that. Back to the Future, joint favourite film. That's a belter. You kept that one quiet. You got it. I know, mate. That's because I was planning on making a video of it. So I haven't even put it on Instagram or anything to keep the surprise. But I thought for a live stream, treat people that have made the effort to watch it. I'll maybe give them a wee glimpse. But there will be videos coming for The Godfather and the Back to the Future box set. Will be probably short ones, but yeah, just videos in the near future.
I'll be indulging in those videos, man, big time. Oh, yeah, as well, just real quick as well. I want to give you public praise, because I did thank you the night before we started this that you saved me money. Yeah, you're my favorite video of yours so far that I've seen has to be the RoboCop one, because I already own the Steelbook, the Arrows Steelbook that you've got. Great quality. It was pretty solid. But obviously, who doesn't want RoboCop on 4K? Who doesn't want that? So obviously, I waited for it. And then I found out from your video, it's not that much of an improvement over my Steelbook, so I didn't bother with it. So I saved money. So yeah, thank you for that. And I'll be watching these videos properly for these ones as well. So yeah.
Thanks very much, Badger. I appreciate the public praise. As I said to you off camera, like I just enjoy 4K stuff. I enjoy watching stuff in the best quality. And I feel I've got a decent enough eye for it. So that was why I started making these kind of 4K reviews. Very much inspired by like Jeff at Films at Home and Shane of Spare Change. You watch Spare Change, Badger?
I don't think I've heard of it.
No, he's an American guy who covers like home theatre, 4K Blu-ray and all that. Really snappy, slick videos. Not like mine, I kind of ramble on. But I like to think that there's nuggets of goodness when I ramble on. But yeah, Change worth checking out. Those are the two guys that kind of inspired me, and that's how I just thought I'm going to have a go at this myself. You know, there wasn't many people doing it in the UK. There are, but just not as many as widely known as those two, as I found out. But that was kind of what got me into it. But no, cheers, mate, and I'm glad to save you some money. What I will say is, though, that for anyone watching, RoboCop in 4K looks fantastic. It's just that it's not a huge upgrade over the 1080p. So if you don't have it, don't go out and buy the Blu-ray. If you don't have anyone, get the 4K unless you're on a budget or whatever. But no, thanks for that, mate. What we'll say for number 5 then we'll get back onto yours. Okay, number 5 is a Blu-ray, and then we'll ramp it up for me from then. So number 5 is Arrow's Thief on Blu-ray. So this is I think it's Michael Mann's first movie. It's his feature-length debut.
I see. I don't know.
Have you ever seen it before, mate? No?
I don't even know if I've heard of this. Now, please keep talking about it because I feel quite ashamed already. I already feel ashamed.
It's not that well known a movie. Well, I suppose it is, but it's not as well known as obviously like Heat, Last of the Mohicans. I think what else Michael Mann's done. My mind's going blank now. Those are the kind of big ones. Collateral, Miami Vice. This was his first one. It stars James Caan. James Caan plays a thief, as the title suggests, who is kind of trying to take down a big score. But it's the usual kind of story of, you know, he's kind of getting on and he wants to settle down, and he's met this woman he wants to settle with, and it's the one last score, and then I'm gonna go clean, and then but life of crime, the people he's involved in aren't going to let him kind of go off into the sunset. But Michael Mann loves realism, as you probably know, having watched these other films. He loves, of course, the detail. He sometimes almost overindulges on the technical side of whatever his characters are doing, but he does it so well and so stylistically. So there's a lot of scenes in this movie where James Caan is breaking into safes, which were obviously not as kind of future tech laden as they are now. So it involves like drilling into them and all that. And it's just quite mesmerising to watch. Actually, it's filmed at length, like 10 minutes at a time, breaking into these safes. But it's got an amazing score from Tangerine Dream. And I know Ellis over at Total Movie Recall is a big fan of this. But the reason I like it is because this is an out-of-print version that I found in my local CX. I love thrifting. Thrifting's a big part of it for me. The whole physical media stuff. Love getting bargains and finding, hidden gems like this one.
That's great artwork there, man.
It's amazing. This is out of print. You can get it from Arrow, but this is a 2-disc version with this kind of fancy slip, and this is now out of print. So that's why I quite like it, because it's quite rare, and I found it, in the wild as opposed to buying it when it first came out. It has 2 different cuts of the movie, which I don't think you get on the standard one. But you can get it quite cheap now, Badger. So if you want to see it, you could get the standard one for like £7 or £8 in the arrow sale. But definitely worth checking out, mate. But that's my number 5, and probably my favourite, coolest and rarest Blu-ray, I would say.
Nice. I'm a big fan of James Caan. How is he in the film? Is he like awesome? I'm assuming, right?
Oh, he's uber cool. Ooze is cool, and he's got the hairiest chest ever committed to film. Amazing, not to spoil it, kind of near the end when he visits a beach. Can't remember where it is, somewhere hot anyway. And it's so 80s. He's got the super tight high waistband jeans on, walking on the beach with his shoes off and the bare chest out, totally covered. Almost looks like he's wearing a t-shirt. He's so hairy. And then that crazy curly hair that he's got, but he still looks cool. Only James Caan could look cool pulling that off. But
yeah, man, that's funny. Like,
I'm
I'm a big fan of him.
We'll get your number 4, mate. Total Movie Recall. I like your style, Andy. That slipcover is sexy. No, it is, mate. I love the way the diamond catches a light, mate. I'm all about that. Total Movie Recall, that beach scene. He knows what I'm talking about.
I feel like this is another one that I've been missing out on, because there's obviously a big list of classic films I still haven't seen yet.
I mean, look at, like, you whapped out Battle Royale, and immediately I started to blush because I can't believe I've not seen this, and I've got it as well. My dad's joining in again. Bobby Hogg, James Caan, and the original Rollerball was awesome. I need to see that again, Dad. I've seen it before in my Blockbuster days when I was 17 or 18. But it's been a long time. It was an old rental VHS I watched it on. You seen Rollerball?
I think I did, but this was a long time ago. I have vague memories, I think.
Yeah, I can't really remember. I know it's kind of cult status. I think it's an early 70s movie, Rollerball. No, I'll definitely check it out. I'm sure there's an Arrow release of it. I'm not sure if there's been a 4K, but yeah, I know it's a fan favourite. My dad clearly likes it. Yeah, Badger, so what's your number 4, mate? That's with it.
Sure. I'm almost embarrassed by this one, almost, considering how much money I spent on this.
That's a safe place, mate. There's no need for
So yeah, it's this 4K steelbook of the 90s. Well, to me, it's a classic. It's just a remarkable film, Jumanji.
Awesome, mate. Seen it in the cinema.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Did you?
Nice.
Yeah, I was too young, man. I think I was like 5, 6 when this film came out, and I had it on VHS for the first time when I saw it. But I bloody adored it as a kid, and as I got older, I took off the nostalgia goggles. I was like, it's actually better than I thought it was. You know what I mean? As a kid, it's better now than it was when I was a kid, and it just got better and better. So obviously, naturally, I want this on 4K. How could you not, right? However, I wanted the steelbook because the steelbook looks like the actual board game. And it's hard to see, but like all the details and stuff are actually popping out. Awesome. And they catch the light really well. However, I did order it online from eBay because I couldn't get it brand new. So I got it from eBay, and it was the wrong steelbook. It just didn't look right. It didn't look like it was based on the board game and all that. I was like, oh, sod this. I had to get rid of it. Turns out this one's ultra rare, especially when it's sealed. So I spent near £100 on this bloody thing. And I didn't care. It was so worth it. I got this thing. It was sick. The inside looks just like how it does in the movie. Yeah. It's freaking awesome. And not only does the 4K just look fantastic, but on top of that, the second disc, the Blu-ray disc, has a couple of episodes of the cartoon from the 90s. And was
it a Jumanji cartoon? I can't even remember.
Only a few episodes, sadly. It doesn't have loads of them, but that thing was awesome. The cartoon was fun, man. It was great. So it was cool seeing it again. And yeah, with the 4K steelbook in there and all that, the way it looks, I thought it was bloody great. So yeah, this thing is one of my prized possessions, man. Not just the quality of it, but also the aesthetics of this. It's just great. Love it so much, dude. That film's remarkable. And yeah, R.I.P. Robin Williams, you legend.
Yeah, a legend.
Yeah, what I will quickly say as well is that the original casting for Robin Williams, the original person, it was going to be Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead. And that would have been badass, man. I would have loved that. However, I'm totally okay with it being Robin Williams because who doesn't love Robin Williams, right? He was a king.
Yeah. Why was it? Why did Robin Williams get it? Was he just a bigger name? Was it the studio, or was it?
I have no idea. I just know he was strongly considered for it, and it just didn't end up happening. I see it like Taxi Driver. Originally, Al Pacino was going to be in Taxi Driver instead of Robert De Niro, and I have no idea why it didn't happen. I'm sure Al Pacino would have been phenomenal. I don't care. We got Robert De Niro, and it was phenomenal. That's how I look at it. It would have been great, but it didn't happen. I don't care. We got brilliance.
Speaking about Al Pacino and things that never were, I didn't know until recently, and it's a film that I love as well, that Al Pacino was offered Rambo before Stallone was.
What, he was going to be in First Blood?
Yeah. So obviously, when you think of Rambo, like, you know, Rambo 2, Rambo 3, like oiled up, like muscly Stallone, you think how ridiculous. Pacino could never have done that. But I suppose when you think back to First Blood, that's not what Rambo was. He was just a Vietnam vet who was trying to kind of live peacefully, and he gets kind of bullied by the small town sheriff department. Kind of as a bit of a metaphor for like the general kind of American feeling towards vets. It's a brilliant movie. Ted Kotcheff in it. Is it Ted Kotcheff film or book?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Anyway, I can imagine it. I mean, I think Stallone is the perfect casting, but I can totally get why Pacino was originally offered it. Why he turned it down.
For the original, absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, 2, 3, and 5 aren't canon. Because how they contradicted the original anti-war message of the first one is just stupid to me. It's really offensive. I think they're goofy, and I've never accepted them as canon. There's a reason why I own First Blood and Rambo 4 on 4K, but I don't own any of the others. You know what I mean?
I want to get them all in 4K, but I agree with you, mate. I think that First Blood is a fantastic film in its own right, and it's a powerhouse of acting at the end. Like the Stallone at the end is absolutely fantastic.
Masterful.
Amongst his best stuff, if not his best acting in a particular scene. But yeah, you're right. And then it kind of like goes off the rails. And don't get me wrong, we all love a bit of Rambo running about, fighting Russians and whatnot. But yeah, it's not. It doesn't tie in with the original. No offense to any Russians.
Yeah, but we go on. What's your next pick, buddy?
My next one. Okay, so as I say, I'm just making that up as I go. So, okay, we'll go to number 4. So number 4 is one that I have done a reel for on Instagram, and it was quite kind of unique at the time. But I got this in from America, and it's the American Steelbook. Now, not only is it an amazing film, my brother's right into this movie, and he loves it. He watches it every month. He just loves it. I don't watch as much as that, but I do really enjoy it. But when I seen this, I think it was on an American channel. I seen this, Level Media, the American channel that I follow. That's when I first seen it, and loads of people were taking to Instagram and putting this slipcover over different physical medias, and just playing around with it, which is pretty cool. But as soon as I seen this, I just thought, no, I need to have this. This is an amazing steelbook. It's from Lionsgate, and it initially released in the US. So I took to Get By, and I managed to get a copy of one because it sold out pretty quickly over there. But inside, you'll see it's got like the card, like the one that's used in the film. The discs are like that as well. But no, it's a really nice steelbook, and as much as I'm still proud of it, and it's a great one to have in the collection, it did cheapen it a little bit when it got released in the UK about 6 months after that. So I probably paid over the odds for it and had to go through the rigmarole of getting it from America, only for maybe 3 months after I got it for it to be announced that they were going to release it in America. But in the UK. But amazing steelbook, amazing movie. I'm a big fan of Christian Bale, and this is certainly up there amongst his best work. So that is number 4 for me, Badger. American
Great choice, man. Great choice. It's a great steelbook. When I saw that, I was like, wow, yeah, that is creative. Next one, I did whip this out on one of Ellis's videos, but I still have to do this. I still have to bring it out again because it means a lot to me. For last Christmas, it was Cabin in the Woods, the steelbook, 4K steelbook. So yeah, this this flick means a fuck ton to me. I think it's ridiculously overlooked, underrated, even though it was very well received when it came out. In my personal opinion, it's a full-blown goddamn masterpiece. I think it's the best meta reference filled film like I've ever seen. The way it plays on all of the cliched like tropes from cabin in the woods style horror films, I thought was expertly well done. It had great metaphors in there. It was so well done. Loved it. The steelbook's fantastic, quite rare, quite expensive. I think my father spent like £75 on it for me for Christmas. It's like quite rare. But also inside, I still have the cinema.
The orange tickets, man.
Yeah, the original cinema ticket. I've accidentally kept it for over 10 years. It was an accident. I realized shit, it's in my wallet, and I've had it for almost 5 years. And I watched it on the 29th of April 2012 right there. And once I realized I found it in my wallet and I had it for bloody years, I was like, I'm keeping this, man. Considering how much the film means to me, I'm keeping it. And yeah, it's a Joss Whedon masterpiece in my eyes.
I don't know.
It was, yeah. He made it, and it was actually on the shelf for a number of years. They finished it, and for some reason, it just was in limbo for years, like 3 years. It didn't come out, and then they finally did, and it kicked the door down. It impressed loads of people. For me, though, it's unrealistic how much I like it. Put it that way, I like it far more than most people.
You done a review on it, Badger? You done a review on it?
No, but I will do one day. I will do one day. This is one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life. When it comes to the meta references and all that, I can't think of anything better than this. This is one of the best films I've ever seen, in my opinion. Cabin in the Woods is my religion.
Well, again, I'm not to offend you, mate, but I've actually seen it. But I'll definitely check it out. You know, see, to be honest, I think you know that I'm not a big horror fan. That's why there's quite a lot of fairly mainstream or notable horror films that I've not actually seen. But Cabin in the Woods is one of those ones that admittedly I just kind of wrote off. I thought this is just your typical throwaway.
That's the point.
not knowing anything about it, I have to say. Just the title, everything about it. And when I seen the casting at the time, I just thought, oh, it's just your typical teen horror film. And it's only in the last 6 months to a year, being in the YouTube space, that and you know, getting a little bit more into horror, that I've realised that it's quite well regarded, and it has a massive twist, which unfortunately has been spoiled for me, but I won't spoil it.
Such a shame. That's a shame. Big shame.
So I don't want, just in case anyone else is watching, we'll not go into that. But as much as I know of the spoiler, I still don't know how this comes about or anything else about it. So I don't know a huge amount about it, but I will kind of know when that happens. But yeah, I didn't realise, and you know, it's got these cool steelbook releases now and whatnot, and there's a big cult following. So yeah, to my misfortune, I didn't give it the respect it deserved at the time. I kind of overlooked it, but maybe that was by design, like you say. That was kind of like what they were going for with it. So yeah, I'll definitely check that one out, mate.
There's no way you'll like it anywhere near as much as me. So don't let me hype it up. Don't let me build up.
Isn't he?
Sorry?
Is it Chris Hemsworth's in it, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I didn't know that either until recently, because he would have been unknown at the time, I suppose. Yeah, so we're on number 3, is that right? Okay, what am I going to say is number 3. So number 3 for me is probably my Mad Max Steelbook.
Oh, hello.
So I did an unbox on this. People that follow the channel, or if you're joining us late and watching it.
I didn't see that.
So yeah, there's an unbox on it, mate. I did mean to actually review all the films, but I've still not watched them all. And I was going to do it as like a one video, just covering the video and audio quality. I might still do it at some point, but I've only watched Mad Max 1 and Mad Max 2. Still to see. Oh, I've seen Fury Road loads. I've seen them all, obviously. I've not watched the 4Ks of Thunderdome or Fury Road, but apparently Fury Road is considered a bit of a demo disc for audio and video. Certainly the Blu-ray was fantastic. Excuse me.
Sorry.
I've not watched the 4K yet, but yeah, I'll open it up for you, mate, and let you see them. But they're all really nice. They're all kind of color coded, obviously, but that's like the first one. And inside they've got significant kind of quotes from the movie, from each movie, inside, which is quite nice. So it's quite a simple. It's not an overly complicated design for them all, but it's just done well, if you know what I mean. I like
I've only, sadly, I've only ever seen the original and Fury Road, the fourth one. That's it. I haven't seen the second or third yet.
Right, okay, so wow. So yeah, the second one, the one I'm holding up just now, a lot of people think is the best. Probably the second one and Fury Road are regarded as the best films. I can't remember mind it. I actually think that I enjoy Fury Road the most. I think it's my favourite, which is kind of controversial because it doesn't have Mel Gibson in it. It's got obviously Tom Hardy, who was a good casting, but yeah, he doesn't have a huge amount to do acting wise, but he gets the mood and he projects the character well physically, I suppose. Yeah, that's another great movies. The first one, mate, as you've seen it, isn't like amazing, but I think it still holds up well. I think the low kind of budget works well. I think sometimes the less the budget, when you're doing something dystopian or they're supposed to be futuristic, sometimes it's better because they can't do it as much. They can't lean into it as much, so there isn't as much to age. Whereas if they've got a lot of money, they'll go full on, and then fast forward 20 years, and all of a sudden all the cracks and what was once really new and state of the art at the time, all of a sudden doesn't look that way at all.
Good point. Good point.
So I think that kind of helps Mad Max
Yeah.
and the franchise in general, but I think certainly the first one kind of holds up quite well. I'll just get the last one out here. But yeah, it's a really cool. You can pick this up quite cheap now. I think it's actually on Zavi on heavily discounted, 60 quid or something like that for all four. Not what I paid, unfortunately. I paid 100 quid to get it new. It dropped really quick after that, annoyingly. But yeah, great films, great franchise, big fan of Mad Max in general. And certainly the 4K transfers of the oldest ones, Mad Max and the Road Warrior, are absolutely fantastic.
I haven't seen any of them on 4K yet, actually, so I should fix that. I've got the regular Blu-ray of Fury Road. That's about it. I need to fix that.
Yeah. I mean, the regular Blu-ray of Fury Road looks amazing anyway, so I don't know how. I'm looking forward to watching the 4K, but it looked fantastic. It was, but I know you can. When those were released in the UK anyway, that was the only way you could get them was in the box set. Well, you could get Fury Road, but you couldn't get the other three. But I think they're all available separately now. So if you just want to buy, say, the Road Warrior, you can get it. You can get it individually.
I will check them out one day. Those films are on the list of popular films I'm still yet to see because there's quite a number of them. And
you've released a Weapon to do, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. I saw.
You're like a Mel Gibson marathon.
I will watch that. Yeah, Lethal Weapon. I'm still yet to see Coming to America, which I heard was a big.
I've not seen Coming to America.
Oh, fair. Beverly Hills Cop still haven't seen.
I've seen those, but a long time ago.
Fair. I've only recently watched The Crow for the first time, and I liked it. Yeah, there's this big popular ones. I still haven't seen any of the Top Gun films yet either, so I've got to get on it. I will do. So yeah,
you'll enjoy the Top Guns, mate. You'll definitely enjoy I think the first one's aged. It's obviously aged. I think it's aged quite well. People may be watching it for the first time now. It might be too cheesy, but I think it helps if you've got that little bit of nostalgia as well. But the second one is an absolute marvel.
Wow.
Just technically, it's fantastic, but it's got a good storyline as well. Just everything about it's just well put together.
Yeah, well, I don't mind films that age. I mean, possibly my favorite film of all time is The Great Escape from the 60s. So I can yeah, and plus I love the original King Kong from the 30s. So I love older films, so I won't mind Top Gun.
Great Escape's amazing. Yeah, great movie. I've not seen the old King Kong, I don't think. But I'll get around to it at some point. So the Campfire says, would you trade that box set for the PlayStation Plat? I might, mate. I might, if it meant I could go back and play Mad Max with purpose. So he's talking about, I recently played, have you played Mad Max for PlayStation 4?
I heard it was great.
I fell asleep on it, and annoyingly so, to my peril, because by the time I got around to it, they discontinued the server, and there was I like my trophies. I like doing the platinum trophies. Not everything I play. If I really enjoy something, I'll go for it. And there's one shitty trophy that's linked to like the server, which is now down. So you could spend like 100 hours getting everything else, and you would be 99.9% complete, but you'll never get that trophy. So the plat is excluded forevermore to me. That's why he's saying when you trade it for the platinum trophy. I might do, mate. I would certainly consider it.
Yeah, right, man.
But no, okay, so that's us done 5, 3, 3. What's your number 2, mate?
Give me a second. I've got to get the cough sweet on. Yeah, I'm also sick as a dog, by the way. I'm hiding it so well. But
you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm hiding so many sorry. I took so many bloody pills just before we started because I'm bloody not doing good. But I've got an itchy throat, so I've got to take the cough sweets, but I'll be all right. I'll try not to let it make me mumble and shit. Right. Yeah, Ellis, if you're watching this, like, forgive me, dude, all right? I've got to kiss its butt again, all right? But I can't help it. I like what I like, all right? Don't judge. I know I mention it all the time on your videos, but just love me, okay? Just love me. The Steelbook of Unbreakable, the 4K Steelbook. Yeah, I see you rolling your eyes there, Ellis. I know you're doing it. Calm down, boy. Look, to simplify it, because I don't want to tick off anyone who's watching, especially you, Ellis. But yeah, it's quite unnerving how much I like Unbreakable. So look, I'm not usually a big fan of spectacle films. I could like them a lot, but when it comes to like Marvel stuff or Batman, it just doesn't tickle my fancy that often. You know what I mean? I do like some of it, but whatever. Ellis, you're gonna die, man. It's gonna hurt.
I thought just that comment in there while you were mid-flow, mate.
It's gonna hurt you, Ellis. It's gonna hurt you. Don't be forgetting this, Ellis. I know where you live, man. I know where you live. I know where you live, man. I've got a car. It's not gonna be too hard, mate. It's gonna hurt you, man. I'll put it somewhere you don't want. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Anyway, yeah, I'm not into the big epic stuff. Unbreakable is a superhero film that's remarkably grounded. There's no real action in it. It's got a reserved, quiet performance from Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. It's my religion. It speaks to me in levels I cannot describe. It inspires me like fuck. M. Night Shyamalan, that whole trilogy of Split and Glass, I love them all. I'm moving house real soon. Like within a week, I'm moving house. And that's why my whole room's bloody empty now. But I did have Unbreakable and Glass framed in.
Yeah, I've noticed it before in the background.
Yeah, Unbreakable is like 20 years old, that postage, you know what I mean? It's crazy. But yeah. Unbreakable, I think, is like my 5th favorite movie of all time. It's everything to me.
I thought it was your favorite movie. Actually, I thought it.
No,
what is it? Great Escape then? Is Great Escape your favorite?
Possibly, yeah. My top 5, The Great Escape, the Star Wars trilogy, which is one film in my opinion. What is it? Terminator 2, American History X, and Unbreakable. Those are the ones that mean the most to me in the top 5. Yeah, hell yeah, those are my favorites, and this one meant a lot to me. Now, for a long time, I wanted this to come out in 4K. It did. Not only does the 4K look exquisite, but on top of this Steelbook, man, it's just beautiful.
Nice.
And if you open it up, it's got some great artwork of Mr. Glass in his wheelchair and Bruce Willis at the bottom. And yeah, it means a lot to me. And this Steelbook is bloody iconic for me. It cost me a fair bit, but I did love it. And yeah, it's powerful. All right, it's over, Ellis. You can shut up now.
It's a fantastic movie, Unbreakable. I've seen it once or twice, around about the time it came out, and I remember really, really enjoying it. I think it was amazing. I've seen what was the follow-up? Years Split. Really enjoyed Split. Big fan of James McAvoy.
Sorry, dude. Look, I'm sorry. You're gonna make me laugh. Look, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to stereotype you, man. But come on, man. You look a fair bit like him in that film. I'm like, you do.
I'll take it. I'll take
it's
it.
A compliment.
Like him, but I don't know if I look like him.
You do. Look, it's a compliment, okay? James McAvoy is a handsome motherfucker, okay? It's a compliment. But on top of that, he's obviously Scottish as well. So when you're there talking about him, I'm just imagining you in his outfit. It's like, oh.
I wish I was built like him. I wish I was built like him in the late trilogy Glass. But no, yeah, big fan of McAvoy. I think he's super talented. I don't think it's fair to say he's underrated because I think he is rated. But yeah, I feel like he's never quite got that role that's just made him proper household, which I think he deserves, and he has the potential to land or carry off a role like that.
Absolutely, and I think he should have got Oscar nominations at least for those 2 films.
It's a shame. It's a shame that Split got kind of marred in controversy a little bit with regards to how it portrayed people, split personalities. So I think that took the shine off of. Take that aside, he still did a fantastic job of playing a character that had multiple sides very convincingly, even if it was maybe a bit insensitive to that group of people that unfortunately suffer from that that ailment or that that personality disorder. But he's not out to offend anyone. He was out to deliver. He was out to deliver a brief. He's given the brief, and he went out there and he did his job, and he did it fantastic. So as a showcase of his acting, it was amazing. But I've not actually seen Glass. I do mean to check it out. I know you're a fan of it, aren't you?
I'm a fan of it. Yeah, just be prepared because it is a very strange, non-conventional film. Now, Split and Unbreakable are quite strange and original for superhero films. Yeah. This one's on a whole new level. It is very peculiar. And originally, I despised the ending. A lot of people were really bugged by the ending. Right. No one was more upset about it than me. I thought the ending was atrocious when I saw it in the cinema. I walked out being so upset. But then I gave it enough time and realized just because I didn't get what I wanted doesn't mean that what I got was stupid. I opened my mind to it a bit more. And I thought, you know what, that's pretty original. So, yeah, go for it. Just bear in mind, it probably won't satisfy you. But whatever. It's original, dude. It's not.
I don't know why I've taken so long to see it, because I loved Unbreakable, loved Split, loved McAvoy, liked Samuel Jackson, and I like Bruce Willis. So I don't know why. It did get kind of like dodgy reviews, didn't it, when it came out? So maybe that's the reason. Not that I'm someone that just takes reviews as gospel, but maybe that's just the reason I put it to one side and then just around it. But no, great, nice steelbook, mate. Really nice design and cracking film. Yeah. Ewan Taylor, The Great Escape is absolutely the all-time best film. Tremendous cast, great story, beautifully shot. Shame about them being so flexible with the truth, but the best. Good taste.
Thank you very much. You're awesome. But no, it is true. That is the one problem with it. It's because it's a family-friendly film from the 60s, of course, but it doesn't remotely do the truth justice, because in real life it was harrowing. And in real life, you would not get someone as cocky as Steve McQueen cracking jokes all the time. That would not happen. He would have been shot within 20 minutes, mate. It's plain and simple. But again, no film is perfect. No film's perfect. So yeah, I didn't mind it so much. And as even though I'm not a fan of how Hollywood went remake crazy, the truth is sometimes I don't really mind a remake as long as they do something different with it. I think they should have done loads of remakes of Great Escape by now. Do something different with it. Try and add some truth to it. I would love that to happen. I've wanted it for a long time. It's been 60 years, dude, and we still ain't got it. And one of my next purchases will actually be the 4K of Great Escape, because I don't own that one yet.
I don't own it either. I've not seen it in a long time. It's weird that it's became one of these in the UK. It's known as a Christmas movie, isn't it? It's not.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how, but I think it was just famously because it's such a well-loved movie. It was like, let's give, back in the days of broadcast where you didn't have on demand and all that, it'd be like, boom, The Great Escape is a film everybody loves, so let's give people things they love on Christmas Day, and it's just became this Christmas movie. Does it still get showed? Do you remember?
Yeah, it does. It still gets showed on Christmas.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I need to get it myself and watch it. I love Steve McQueen, but Ewan Taylor is a good kind of mate of mine, and he's a World War II enthusiast. Just to give some backstory, an amazing collection of like genuine World War II uniforms and stuff like that. He's got a room kind of dedicated to it. He's a bit like us with steelbooks and media, except when it comes to kind of World War II memorabilia. But yeah, so that's Ewan. On the subject of McAvoy, he did a cracking performance in a BBC adaptation of Macbeth and BBC's Shakespeare Retold many years back. A must watch. You seen that? Right?
Never even heard of it, I don't think.
No, neither have I. I know he cut his teeth, like as a lot of British actors do, obviously, like on BBC and Channel 4 and whatnot. Like he started off in Shameless, didn't he? He had a small part in Shameless and various other different BBC things, but no, he told that out, mate. It's probably on. It might be on BBC iPlayer, because I know a lot of the old legacy stuff's on that now.
Yeah, my introduction to him was in Atonement. This really like depressing romantic, and I thought even though it was very well received and I agreed with all the reception, I thought it was fantastic. I haven't met a single person in my personal life who likes it. Strange. I haven't met. I feel lonely in my circle, but yeah, I thought he was astonishing in it, and I thought it was a great film. I was a fan of him ever since then. I obviously liked him in the X-Men films, and considering I'm not into big superhero stuff, I'm surprised by how much I loved them in those films. I loved them. But yeah, Split and Glass is what made me like an avid fan of him. So yeah, I probably will check out that Shakespeare.
Have you seen Filth?
Sadly, it wasn't my scene. I have seen it. It wasn't my scene. Sorry, I'm thinking of Layer Cake.
No. Filth's the one with McAvoy. Plays the corrupt Scottish cop.
I have not seen it.
I think that is one of McAvoy's best performances. It's not a film that's for everyone. It kind of got mixed reviews. I think it's great. Quite a dark film. There's a lot of dark humor in it. But
sorry,
no, it's all right, man. It's definitely worth watching if you want to see, I think, top tier McAvoy, and it might be the only significant role or movie role he's done where he speaks in his kind of native tongue.
Is it?
Yeah, because he's playing a Scotsman, so he's going like all in on the Scottish accent.
He doesn't do that enough, actually. I just realized that is true. I don't see him do that enough. But hold up, he was in a video game as well, and he gave this remarkable voice acting performance in this unique game. I think 12 minutes, I think it was called 12 minutes. It had 12 minutes. It had Willem Dafoe in it and Daisy Ridley from the recent Star Wars trilogy. And it was a very strange Groundhog Day style game. It was like a point and click game, and it was like a cop comes in and murders you and your wife. And
that rings a bell. Yeah, it won a lot of awards, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. It did. It was a strange indie game. It was quite peculiar, but I was quite a big fan of it. It was a really interesting little puzzle game, and it's just 12 minutes. The whole thing is crazy. This cop keeps coming into your apartment and keeps killing you and your wife. You have to figure a way out of it. And Willem Dafoe.
You go through, do you kind of find out more about the reason that the cop?
Absolutely.
Doing that kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. There's many layers to it. Willem Dafoe was great as the bad guy cop, the bent cop who comes in and kills you. Daisy Ridley plays as the wife, and James McAvoy is who you're playing as. Right. Really interesting game. But the only problem that I had with it was that I just thought it was too challenging. Some of the puzzles were a little bit too psychotic for my life.
It's not one thing, is it?
Yeah, but it's still a good game though, and what a twist ending. I'm not saying anything, but whoa, that was great. So yeah, check it out. But yeah, great actor, man. Phenomenal actor. I love him. And I will check out Filth as well, because I'm still yet to see it. I'm yet to see it.
Yeah, watch it, man. I'm interested to know what you think of it, because I think it's a divisive one, so it'd be good to, get Badger's input on it.
Yeah, man.
The campfire says Bruce Robertson loyal. So Bruce Robertson is the character that McAvoy plays.
Oh, okay.
The detective sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
Turn off my gas.
The way you had to exaggerate your Scottish accent to say it. Like,
that'll make more sense when you see it, mate. Right. So where were we in the
that's your turn now. Yeah.
My second one.
Mm-hmm.
Your one. Does it mean?
Yeah, I've just done number 2. Yeah, I've done it. So I think it's your turn now. Yeah, sorry, I went off on one there. Sorry.
No, it's all right, mate. That's what it's all about. It's all about getting the chat going. So number 2 for me, I'd probably put Drive. Now, I should stress at this point, these aren't my top 5 films of all time. These are just, these films are in here because they're nice films I like, nice sets and good quality, But yeah, this is the Drive 4K box set from Second Sight. It's an absolute belter of a 4K box set. I did a full kind of comparison video on the video and audio quality, and I did a dedicated unbox. So if you want to see what this looks like inside and why I love it so much, then you can check that out. But yeah, it's just this I think Drive's a fantastic film. I think it's a modern day Taxi Driver almost, to how I describe it. It's a hard film to actually put into a category, Drive, and it's not for me. But for me, it's like when I first watched this, I probably would have given it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought, yeah, that's good, but I don't think we'll go back to it like anytime soon. And I can understand why some people were a bit miffed because the original trailer was kind of like marketed it as being like Fast and the Furious. I think people thought they were getting this like slick, fast-paced kind of getaway film when there's about 10 minutes of that in the film. The rest is more kind of character-driven, but
if that.
Yeah, if that. But it has an amazing soundtrack, great performances from Ryan Gosling. The cast actually went on to be really successful. You got Oscar Isaac's in there, Kerry Mulligan. So like you see some of the cards you get in it. Oscar Isaac, Bryan Cranston, obviously before. I think he was doing Breaking Bad at the time.
Yeah, he was.
Albert Brooks, Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
Tina Hendricks as well. So yeah, brilliant cast. This is just a really nice set. It comes with the original book that it was based on. So that's the original novel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I've heard it's not actually that good. I heard the film is a lot better than the kind of short novel that it's based on. But yeah, we're interested to read that at some stage. And then it has this hardback book, full of interviews and kind of like stills and pictures and whatnot. So, which I still haven't read, shamefully. Yeah, this I think, I'm not sure if you can still get this. It's quite a recent release, but I think this sold out quite quick. You can get the standalone vanilla one. But yeah, the vanilla one just comes with the 4K, but this you get the 4K and the Blu-ray. Yeah, I can say it wasn't cheap, I think it was like 60 quid or something for one movie, which is a lot. But I'm a big fan of it. I love the design of it. I love the attention to the love that Second Sight, the British label, give to these. I'm sure you've got the odd thing from Second Sight, Roger. You'll probably testify that.
Dog Soldiers, I think.
Yeah, Dog Soldiers, yeah. I've got that as well. Not the fancy box set. This is only Second Sight box set I've got. But yeah, just really well made, sturdy. Love the style of it. Very in keeping with the movie. I think Nicholas Winding Refn is a little bit overrated, to be honest, as a director. But he did give us this, so I'm forever in his debt. So he did Bronson with Tom Hardy.
Oh, I love that.
Great. Yeah, I enjoyed Bronson. Kind of similar in that it's a bit trippy. All these films are a bit trippy, a bit surreal almost. But he did Valhalla Rising with Mads Mikkelsen, which I didn't enjoy, to be honest. A little bit too style over substance, a little bit too arty for me. I know the fans of it, but it just didn't land with me. I found it a bit tedious to get through. And he did the kind of spiritual successor to this was Only God Forgives with Ryan Gosling, which got pretty much.
Never seen it, but I've heard crazy things about it.
Yeah, it's got terrible scores on IMDb and whatnot, and I think it is kind of accepted as being a shit movie. But he did that, and he did more recently. He did the Neon Demon?
Yeah, I've heard that film was fucked, man. Yeah, I know.
That one a little bit more of a cult following. I think there are people that enjoy that one, whereas Only God Forgives was like, I think, agreed as being pants by everyone. But yeah, that's my number 2. Cracking film. I've enjoyed it. I like this film more and more over the years watching. It's a 5 out of 5 for me now. And yeah, number 2 cracking box set.
I need to rewatch it because I completely believe it that I'm wrong. I completely believe I'm wrong. But when I first saw it around a decade ago, I bloody hated it.
Right.
And, it was, as you said, it was the marketing. The marketing made me think I was getting something that I didn't end up getting. I'm not even too big into the whole Fast and Furious type of thing, but still,
either, mate.
Yeah, I still went in, expected that, didn't get it. I was bloody confused by it all. I originally thought Ryan Gosling was bloody awful in it. I thought it was terrible. And then when I looked up what it really was and all that, I realized, okay, I've made a mistake then. Clearly they marketed it the wrong way. I'm still yet to rewatch it, and I'm positive I'm going to like it more. I do believe I was wrong. I just went in with the wrong mindset. So I will rewatch it. I will watch it one day again.
I think you'll like it more than you did first time, Badger. I'm quite sure. But that's something I like about your channel, mate. I noticed that when I watched Halloween Ends today, your review of that, I like that you reviewed it, but you were brave enough to say you gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
That's right.
Still check it out though. It's a good video. You give it 3.5 out of 5, you quickly say that you may like it more, you maybe score it higher.
Mhm.
I think that's something that needs to be addressed, don't you think? Like, people's opinion, certainly mine, your opinions can shift on films, can't they? Like, from you can watch something and hate it, you can watch something and love it, and then you'll watch it again and think, what did I love about this? It's not that original, or whether that character's annoying, or you see flaws in it, or sometimes you don't appreciate something and then you come to love it. So I like that, and you're kind of open minded to that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, I do. I think you don't see that in a lot of other ones that they come out, especially if they're negative. They just go, "This is shit," and let's close the book on it. Well, it's kind of what you've said about Halloween Ends, but but you've said no. There's some good stuff there, and maybe there's room.
And as I said as well in that video, I'm bloody convinced it's going to get a big time fan base soon. And I get it. I get how anyone could like Halloween Ends. I get it completely.
I happened to be Halloween Kills. I've not seen Halloween Ends, so I can't comment. But I remember when Halloween Kills came out, I just kind of came onto the YouTube space and whatnot, and I wasn't really a big fan of horror, so I wasn't really caring. But people were hating on Halloween Kills, hating on it. Now there's more and more people like yourself coming out and saying, "Oh, do you know what? It's actually all right. It's got this, it's got that." People are starting to like it. So yeah, you can never really trust people's reactions, especially really strong negative ones in the beginning, because people just react emotionally, don't they? And then after a while they give it a little bit more thought. But yeah. On to the big one, mate. Number one, the favourite in your collection.
It's not 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's the Before trilogy by Criterion.
Okay.
Yeah, I reviewed these films on my YouTube channel, and I'm really bugged I didn't even mention this physical media collection. Yeah, Criterion went balls out on this. It's all made of cardboard, so it's mad delicate, so I've got to be careful with it every time I pick it up. But these films are my religion. So people wouldn't expect me to say this, but I love romantic films. I do. I love them. I'm willing to admit, though, the vast majority of them are cheesy as hell, and they are not believable. They give you this false representation of what relationships are. They're all corny, they're unrealistic, they're stupid. But then every now and again, you'll get one that does something different, and it warms my heart, and it just affects me really well. For example, I think 500 Days of Summer is a complete masterpiece. It might be a chick flick, but I still do love Bridget Jones's Diary, always have. I adore Chasing Amy. And yeah, I think this one just might be at the tip of the top for me, possibly. So yeah, these are 3 films by Richard Linklater. He does these very strange, non-conventional, artsy films, very weird films actually, where he'll just make things ultra grounded. A great example is that he did a film called Boyhood, and it took him 12 years to shoot.
Yeah, I've not seen it, but I know the one you're talking about.
It's an experience, man. It's just a film about life. The characters don't have any arcs or anything like that. It took him 12 years to shoot. Every 6 months or every year, he'd shoot about 30 minutes worth of footage or something like that. I think 15 minutes worth of footage. I can't remember, but it was weird watching a 2013, 2014 film come out, and you're seeing Ethan Hawke in his late 20s, and then eventually he becomes like early 40s. It's like something like that. It's weird. And it's awesome. You're seeing this boy go from like a 7-year-old kid all the way up to like 19. It's crazy.
When did he start filming it?
I don't know. Well, 2014 it came out, minus 12 years. So yeah, I guess 2002. Yeah, 2002, I guess, I'm assuming. But he's just an amazing director. He does these strange, artsy, weird films. And the most commercial film he's made is that Jack Black film, School of Rock, which I think is very charming, very fun. But that's his most commercial.
I didn't know that was him that did that.
Yeah, that's his most commercial film. Though everything else he does is bloody weird. Yeah. To the point where I'd get it if no one liked it. If you don't like it, I'd get it. But yeah, he does some strange stuff. This one is ultra peculiar because it's a film about Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy. They both meet on a train. And yeah, they just agree to spend a night together in Vienna, walking and talking. And the whole film is just this couple walking and talking, getting to know each other. The second film is them 9 years later. They're now in their 30s. They're walking and talking. That's it. They go to a pub, then they get talking. They play pinball, they get talking. Then they get on a train and get talking. Then they get in a car and get talking. It's nothing but walking and talking.
I didn't realise it was as simple as that. You know, I've not seen them, Badger, mate, and I watched your review. You did on all three. It was good, but obviously you don't spoil it too much for people. You're more talking about the kind of, you know.
I didn't do it. I didn't do that I didn't do it in the review. I'm not going to do it now. But yeah.
So speaking to you now more candidly, I didn't realise that it was as quite literally as uneventful as that. I didn't realise it. I knew that it was about this couple that met. I knew the sequel was them meeting again. But I thought there was more conventionality to it. You know, I thought it was more. It's not. It's just right. Okay.
Well, there's no. I'm trying to think. There's not much conflict. There's no fight scenes commonly. There's no like constant side characters. The characters barely have arcs. It's just walking and talking. Them philosophizing about life, death, relationships, religion, all of it. They talk about everything. And watching them go from their 20s to the third film, they're in their 40s. It's just charming. The reflection, the way they gain something but lose something as the film goes on, as the films go on. It's charming. I can't pick a favorite, and they all elevate each other up to new heights for me. The Criterion, not only do these Blu-rays look good, they're not 4K. Not only do they all look good, but the art in these things in this collection is awesome. They've all got their own individual colors and stuff. Also, it comes with this badass booklet, which shows them younger. And yeah, it just explains like all of it about how they aged as the films went on and stuff. And the behind the scenes is all great, explaining how they made it. And it's just wonderful. Ethan Hawke as well is especially grateful because he said himself that the third film he didn't know was possible. The ending to the second film was perfect, as he said. It was bloody perfect. But there was still something missing. And he was so happy that 9 years later, they got to come back and do a sequel again and finish everything off. And it was great. And by now, we should have had a fourth one announced. But I don't think they're going to do another one again.
Does it end fairly satisfyingly?
For me, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
End on
exactly. So I'm okay with them not doing anymore. I'm fine with it. But yeah, before sunrise, before sunset, and before midnight, these films are my religion. They do romantic, the romantic genre. They do it incredibly well. The Criterion collection is the way to go. Although it is expensive, it's about 65 quid brand new, and it's not too common that you find it. But it's astonishing. Those films mean a lot to me, and only if you've got the patience for non-conventional structure and all that, then check it out. If you can handle the concept of two people walking and talking, having a beer and then talking, and then getting in the cab and talking, if you can cope with that, then go for it. But yeah.
No, it sounds interesting, mate. Definitely. It doesn't put me off. If anything, I'm more interested to see it now. You know, now that there is a trilogy and you're speaking so highly of it, then yeah, I'm I'll definitely check that out. A nice one to top off your top five, mate. I really love the Criterion stuff. I only have one Criterion Blu-ray, and it's The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Sorry, what?
The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, the Wes Anderson movie.
Never heard of that.
You know Royal Tenenbaums and French Dispatch. What else has he done recently?
Nothing but birds in my head. There's nothing but birds just tweeting.
You know Wes Anderson, no?
Oh wait, Wes Anderson. I know the name of, yeah.
Yeah, he makes those kind of peculiar, kind of like offbeat comedies.
Punch Drunk Love.
No, you're thinking of Paul Thomas Anderson.
Oh, okay, then I don't know Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson is like the kind of offbeat comedy version.
Okay, I'm going to shut up now.
I'll send you a link. I'll show you a picture of it.
I'm feeling a bit embarrassed now. I'm going to shut up.
I've not even seen I've not seen your top number one, but no, you should check them out. They're not for everyone. I think that given that you like those films, not that they're romantic films, but they have romantic beats to them. But yeah, if you like things that don't necessarily have much structure and they're a bit kind of off kilter, then you'll like Wes Anderson's comedies. So I think you'd probably like them, Badge. I should definitely check them out.
Might
Yeah,
be-
I've only got one Criterion. They're just so bloody expensive, aren't they? Like, I will get more of them. It's just I think I need to wait for the sales when you can get 2 for 30 or whatever.
I've got another one. I've got one of Do the Right Thing, a Criterion collection of Do the Right Thing, and it's awesome. It's the same style as the Before trilogy. It's all cardboard and stuff. Loads of strange art of the characters and stuff. It's just awesome. Great film too.
One I really want that's quite expensive, and it seems to hold its value, is Marriage Story. Now I know people might think that's mental because it's on Netflix, but Marriage Story means a lot to me. As a movie, came along at a pivotal time in my life. It's an amazing movie. I think you can find a more realistic, kind of uplifting, but at the same time, it's a really bittersweet portrayal of what a real life marriage is like, which is not exactly what marriage is like, certainly from my experience. But it's an amazing movie. I'd love to add it to the collection, and Criterion have obviously recognised that it's an amazing movie and gave it the physical release, which we don't always see from Netflix originals. So that's one that I would really like to.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, I've seen Uncut Gems, but
Uncut Gems did it, and yeah, Marriage Story. How much is the Marriage Story Criterion? How much is that?
I think it's nearly 30 quid, like 25 to 30 quid, which I know is not like, I know we pay that for steelbooks and stuff, but given that most Criterions sit around what, $17.99 for an individual movie, the fact that Marriage Story sits like closer to 30 and it's on Netflix, just I think makes it an expensive purchase. But definitely think about it at one point.
It's a powerful film, Marriage Story. Yeah, every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. It's like, oh man,
Some horrible stuff happens in it. There's some really kind of beautiful stuff happens in it as well. So
it's impressive that it's a whole film about a divorce, and yet there's only one argument scene in the whole film. And
it's like the most gnarly argument you'll ever come across in your life, probably.
Absolutely. There's a powerful filmmaking, man. Powerful filmmaking.
Brilliant performances as well. Like Adam Driver is one of my favourite actors just now. I don't think the guy can do anything wrong. I just think he's amazing. And Scarlett Johansson, it's easy to forget that she's actually a really good actress in her own right, because she's so heavily involved with like the MCU and all that. But she's got some acting chops about her, that's for sure.
Of course. And if anyone disagrees with that, watch Marriage Story. the Oscar nominations say it all, really, doesn't it?
100%. So on to number one, just to kind of wrap up the physical media side of things. And it's probably no surprise to anyone who's watched the channel and knows me. I couldn't pick between the two. So it's my favourite movie of all time. It's Blade Runner.
Then. Okay, yeah, I knew it before you even brought it up. I knew it was Blade Runner.
It's Blade Runner. So as much as I've said this top five hasn't been my favourite movies, it just so happens that number one is my number one favourite movie, which is Blade Runner. So this is the Titans of Cult one that I thought I'd missed out on because it sold out really quickly before I kind of got into steelbook collecting and stuff. So I was gutted when I found out.
Never seen that before, ever. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's because it's it was out of print for ages and going for stupid prices on eBay. So I thought one day I would end up having to spend a fortune to get it. And then the guy, Jinxie Cat Movies, actually on Instagram, he's recently started a channel as well. He put me onto it that they were doing a very limited reprint of it. So I managed to get in there and get it. So this is the steelbook. It's slightly, you can see the embossing on it for the white. But it's really nice.
That's great.
I really like premium feel to it. And inside you get these coasters that are done like the kind of Tyrell Corporation coasters. And yeah, you just get obviously you get the Blu-ray and the 4K.
Nice.
Now you might not believe this because you think what, but as much as this is my favourite film, I still haven't watched the 4K. And the reason for that is because I almost put it on too much of a pedestal. So I keep waiting for the absolute perfect, for the stars to align and for it to be the perfect moment for me to watch it in 4K, which when you've got two kids doesn't exist, by the way. So that's why I've never actually got around to watching it. my birthday or something, or Christmas, the next time I'm on holiday, I'm going to set aside an evening, try and get as close to perfect as I can and just watch it. So I have watched little bits just to see what it's like, but apparently it's an amazing restoration. but I've yet to watch it. So I did have it on the old vanilla version, and then I got rid of it, traded it, because I thought I can't have my favourite film of all time as just a standard version. So I have this. The only thing is that it doesn't have any special features on it. The old Blu-ray I have has a DVD with it, which has got the kind of now famous Dangerous Days, the making of. It's like 3 or 4 hours long. So I've kept that, still have it. It's really worth watching if you're into the film, but just if you're a movie fan in general and you like Ridley Scott, it's an excellent documentary about his troubled production and whatnot. Really deep dives it. But yeah, that's probably my favourite Times of Call. I've got a few of them, but awesome, and I'm really glad that I managed to add that to the collection. Favourite film, and I absolutely love 2049 as well. I think it's an amazing sequel. It's one of those few sequels that kind of lives up to the original. Denis Villeneuve, Behind the Wheel. This was my first 4K steelbook, and arguably kind of started the obsession or rekindled my love for physical media.
Oh wow!
I use it as a bit of a demo disc. It was the first 4K I bought. Yeah, it was the first 4K I bought actually, and then it snowballed from there. So it's that Mondo artwork now. It's now a print steelbook. Love it, and it comes with it's the complete edition if you like, because it comes with the 3D Blu-ray, the Blu-ray, and of course the 4K. I still think it's a fantastic demo disc. 2049. Doesn't have Dolby Vision, but it has Dolby Atmos, and it's just.
How much do you think the sequel lives up to the original?
I think it's awesome, and that it like manages to tread that thin line of capturing the themes, the aesthetic, but it doesn't just copy the aesthetic. It builds upon it.
Evolution evolves.
Yeah, that's a better word than I could have used, mate. It evolves. Yeah, the original iconic imagery that is so famous about the original Blade Runner, which you can't emulate. So many films have tried to emulate it and tried to copy it and whatnot. And that was one of the big pitfalls I would suggest that they must have had to overcome for 2049, which I think they did beautifully. It's got this amazing aesthetic. I remember in an interview with Denis Villeneuve, he said that Ridley Scott's inspiration was like, he's obviously British, and it was he imagined it as like a depressing rate. The 2019 future LA to be like a depressing day in London, overcast, raining, minging, covered in fog, covered in smog, London smog kind of thing. Whereas Denis Villeneuve is obviously French Canadian. I think he's from Montreal, isn't he?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
He's from one of the big cities in Canada anyway. And he said that obviously his idea of that is different. So his idea of a kind of shitty day in Canada is cold, snowy, brutally cold, snowy, low visibility. So kind of similar to what Ridley Scott was doing, but he brought his own thing to it. And that's exactly what 2049 looks like. It is colder. There's elements of snow in the film, but it still has that bleak, kind of melancholy, depressed, kind of slightly depressed feel to it. So I love the aesthetic. I love that they didn't try to answer the questions. What's great about Blade Runner, I think, is the how opaque it is, how much it leaves for the viewer to make their own mind up with regards to the themes. A timeless theme that it deals with, morality, what is life, what constitutes life spiritually and whatnot. And I think this one kind of asks more questions and kind of, as you say, evolves it, but again, doesn't try to give a definitive answer about the characters, whether they're replicants or not, kind of thing, which is a nice love letter to the original, to not step on its toes as such. So I just think it's a beautiful handover and a beautiful sequel. And yeah, is it quite long? There's not a great deal actually happening action-wise. Yeah, but I think the slow burn nature of it is great. It gives you time to soak in the aesthetic, and I think it's exactly what we needed as a sequel. Because the first one's slow paced. It's futuristic film noir, and so is the sequel. So hits me. It was Blade Runner 2049. Just continued in the same thread. Loved it. And that's my favourites, mate. So I never really say that 2049 isn't like my favourite films of all time, because I kind of lump it on as almost like a appendix to Blade Runner's my favourite, and this is like the special features. But it is worthy of being certainly in my top 20 in its own right. But yeah, I still prefer the original, because were it not for the original, we wouldn't have this. So that's kind of how my logical brain works. But yeah, I've went on a bit there, mate. But that's because I should do a video on it because I need. There's a lot I want to say. So this is the first time I've had an opportunity to talk at length.
That was
On this.
great.
Sorry, mate, I went a bit there, but that's
Sorry?
that's number one.
Okay. Yeah, I own both of them on 4K. The original, I've got the final cut of it as well. I've still yet to watch them though, but yeah. Tears and Rain monologue. Yeah.
So for the Tears and Rain monologue is the original, and the original is one of the greatest utterances in movie history. Great film. Yeah. And I don't know if you knew this, Badger, but it was ad-libbed by Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer, yeah, he did ad-lib it.
And apparently Ridley Scott was quite pissed off because obviously I don't think he agreed with him changing it, and he just kind of came out with that, and he thought they'd ruined the take because it didn't stick to script. But then after watching the dailies or whatnot, they were like, actually, that's a masterpiece.
I love Ridley Scott, but he's bloody stupid sometimes. Sometimes he just baffles me. Like, come on, dude, you're smarter than this. I know you're human. You're allowed to make mistakes, but you've made too many, mate. Come on. Plus, Rutger Hauer, man, king.
I've been kind of doing a bit of a deep dive into old like Rutger Hauer films and really enjoying them. It's just something about him. He's got a magnetism and a presence.
I watched Blind Fury for the first time only a few months ago.
Wow,
Sorry?
That's an amazing film. I've not seen it in years, but it's one I watched as a kid.
I like it. Really, really fun. I intend on buying it on Blu-ray soon. Actually, I liked it enough to want to buy it, and I adore him in the Hitcher. I adore that film.
Yeah.
Oh, mamma mia! So yeah, that's good stuff.
I'll probably do a review on the Hitcher when it comes out. Second Sight bringing out the Hitcher on 4K. Yeah, take my money.
Are they?
Yeah. So it's they're working on it just now. There's no release date or pre-order but it must be getting close. If you follow them on Instagram, they're always teasing it. They're all they're behind the scenes shots of them like working on the HDR grading. So,
oh, dude, that makes me so happy, man. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Dude, that's great. I'm so happy about that. That's great. Yeah, recently Lost Boys came out on 4K. That made me so happy. Now I've got this too. The only thing I'm hoping for is that we get a 4K version of The Wicker Man because it's very close to being 50 years old. I hope we get that too because I'll just be complete.
Sometimes it's frustrating, isn't it? You think we must get it's 50-year anniversary. We must get it, and it just passes without any fanfare for some movies. One that I'm hoping for, and I know the Campfire will be, is next year is the 50th anniversary of Enter the Dragon. 1973. Oh. Yeah, he's a big fan of that. He's a big Bruce Lee fan. I'm not necessarily a big Bruce Lee fan, but I love that movie. And it doesn't have a 4K currently. It's got a nice HMV kind of collector edition, I think, in the UK, which I've been holding off because I've been thinking, surely for the 50th anniversary, we're going to get a 4K. And being an older film from the 70s, it's got the potential to look, amazing if they can get a hold of the,
of course,
no negative. So that's one I would like to see. But yeah, the Hitcher will be awesome.
Yeah,
just on that from Zephyr talking about the Tears and Rain, I absolutely love that Hans Zimmer did his own thing with the 2049 score, but still, as much as he tried to be original, still understood how fantastic like some of the Vangelis stuff is. And when you hear Tears and Rain element come in at the end of 2049 in the cinema, I genuinely had hairs in the back of my neck. That was one of my top 5 cinema moments for me. Was like at the end of K when you hear the Tears and Rain song coming over the soundtrack.
Didn't recognize that. I didn't know that.
No, I need to watch it again. Next time you watch it, just that I don't want to spoil it in case anyone's not seen it. But when the scene on the end at the steps in the snow, the song is sampled or like from the original Vangelis, whereas the rest of it's all kind of original.
Wow. Okay, I slept on that then. The thing is as well, where you and I were very different, is that I have zero nostalgic value with Blade Runner. I wasn't raised with Blade Runner at all. I watched it for the first time roughly 4 years ago. For the first time, saw it. Oh, bloody loved it, mate. I was like, you don't need nostalgic value to like this. This is bloody brilliant. I couldn't believe how good it still looked, and I didn't even watch it on 4K. I still haven't seen it on 4K yet. I own it, haven't checked it out yet. But
well, they're both in the same camp with that one.
I thought it was bloody great. Yeah, I thought it was great what I saw of it though. And I've watched the original twice, and I've watched the sequel only once. And yeah, I was a fan of the sequel. I didn't like it as much as the first one though. That first one just tickled me, man. I was like, this is it. I couldn't believe how much I loved it. But yeah, the sequel. I haven't seen any other version other than the final cut, the final director's cut. So I've seen that. That's about it. And yeah, I don't have the same nostalgia value as you do, but yet it's not required. I still thought it was bloody awesome, and the second one I liked a lot. Also, there is technically speaking a spin-off, Soldier with Kurt Russell.
You've clashed heads on this before, mate.
Well, it is a spin-off. In the background, you will see some equipment used in Blade Runner. So it was intended on being that, but goddamn, they have different feels. I mean, I really do like Soldier. I really like Soldier. It's fun. But yeah, it's not a Blade Runner film, but it is still set in the universe.
I'll check it out though. I enjoyed it when I watched it, and I think I'd forgotten about that. I remember reading about it, but I had forgotten about it. And I think when you brought it up, and that I kind of cheekily for a laugh gave you a bit of a hard time in the comments. You're obviously is a direct nod though, whether we like it or not. But I do like stuff like that, like Easter eggs, in movies, like little cousins, if you like.
Yeah, there's another one coming out, isn't there? Ridley Scott is apparently doing a show, a Blade Runner suit, which I'm not too excited for, but who knows? It might be brilliant, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's like, a lot of people are fussing about the fact that Ridley Scott's name's attached, but he is just on as an executive producer, which doesn't mean much. Like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know. I thought he was directing it.
I don't know how much he'll get involved, but he's just on as an executive producer. So he's not going to be the showrunner. He's not going to be, well, he might guest direct. I don't know what his intentions are. Yeah, the odd episode. But my understanding is he is just on as on a kind of executive role, which means he'll just make money from it. Pretty much. I don't know how much creative control he'll have. Maybe not a bad thing though that he doesn't have creative control, because as you alluded to earlier, he's kind of messed up, hasn't he? A lot of his other franchises and stuff in the minds of many people.
Yeah, I was willing to forgive what he did with Hannibal. It's a long time ago. I was willing to get over it. For my specific taste, I really am not a fan of that film. But what he did with the recent Alien films just gets on my nerves. Unlike a lot of people, I do love Prometheus. I love it. It's not even my cup of tea, but I loved it. But then Alien Covenant came along. Now, even though I like it, I have no idea how any of this makes any sense with it being set before the original Alien. It makes no sense. I'm looking forward to a third one. It looks like we're not going to get it. It's stupid. And on top of that, he also stopped. What's his name? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The guy,
Neil Blomkamp.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. Yeah, he got in the way of his version of Alien 3. Alien 3. He was gonna retcon Alien 3 and do a direct sequel to Aliens. He was gonna bring the legendary Michael Biehn back. I love Michael Biehn so much. Sigourney Weaver was coming back. Everyone was coming back. Even Newt from Aliens, she was coming back. It was going to be phenomenal. I couldn't wait. And he just got in the way of it. Now, unlike a lot of people, I happen to be a massive fan of Alien 3. Unpopular opinion, but it's true. I love Alien 3.
I think it's a good film, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I think it's
TV.
Yeah, fair. It's not as good as the first two, obviously. Nowhere near. I still happen to love it. I love it so much. It's like an 8.5 out of 10 for me. I love it.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to see this brand new version of it. Absolutely, I did. I wanted to see a new version where the characters survive and they get a lot more service done to them. They get a lot more respect. And sadly, Ridley Scott decided to say, no, mine. I'm going to ruin it.
Kind of weird, isn't it? Like, yeah, the prequel trilogy, whatever you want to call it, or that was planned. I like Prometheus as well. I know it gets a lot of stick for like silly character decisions, but the look of it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I respected the direction he went, and he went away from the xenomorphs, albeit obviously that there is a link to them towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked all that. I liked all the mythology of it. I even quite enjoyed Covenant, although it did feel like a movie that was reactionary to Prometheus.
Oh, it really did. Yeah,
which
yeah.
is disappointing from Ridley Scott, because you think that he'd be a big enough name to just go, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is the direction I'm going. If you don't like it, get off. As opposed to, I didn't think he'd be the type to go, okay, right, because I've seen it in writing that basically was what happened. He thought, I'm sure I've seen it in writing. Somebody said, I thought I made a good movie in Prometheus. However, seeing the feedback and the criticism, looking back, I concede that it maybe wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's obviously second guessed himself and made a more alien-like alien movie. Yeah, so
that's exactly why the Xenomorph came back. It was
yeah,
literally
I think it's that bad. It's not the worst movie ever, and it's got an absolutely fantastic ending. Like, well,
it's fun.
Well, that's not true. I don't mean it's the whole flying about the ship thing's a bit of nonsense, but the cliffhanger ending is awesome. That is chilling.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Even more so by the fact that it comes from Michael Fassbender, who can play a cold, like, machine-like character so well. It's so chilling coming from him.
The character David is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, he's great. He's the best thing about those movies, for sure. But yeah, I kind of like Covenant. It just got a wee bit silly, in the third act, and the decisions they make at the beginning. But the whole David element and that was good. The kind of mad scientist thing they had going on with him, I liked all that stuff at the kind of midway points.
I agree with everything you're saying. It also, because apparently in Alien Covenant, it was David who created the Xenomorphs. Now, that's interesting, and it does explain why the robots were so fascinated by the Xenomorph, like in the original. But at the exact same time, dude, like, it doesn't explain how, like, millions of years ago, you found the fossilized space jockey with the hole in its chest. It's like, dude, that, if it's fossilized, it's just weird. I don't see how, like, hold on, this is set, like, what, 100 years before the first Alien film, Alien Covenant? And it's like, come on, dude, that space jockey is like 1 million years old, dude. How the hell is this the first time that it's come out? I don't get it. Plus, in Prometheus, in the background, you're going to see display art of an alien queen. If you look, like, in the tunnels in the background, you will see artwork of, like, an alien queen. And you were telling me that David was the one who created the aliens in Covenant. It seems like they just
yeah, but there's evidence in the preceding film of a queen. Yeah, I see what you mean. I hadn't noticed that. Watch them again.
So I still like him, but goddamn, there's some cack in there, man, and it seems like Ridley Scott really screwed this up. But we'll see, dude. We'll see. As an
you've were asking me about talking about the Blade Runner series. I think Blade Runner has a fantastic potential as a series. If I think it's Amazon, I think, isn't it? It's an Amazon original. I think it is.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, so they've obviously got money to throw at it. So it's almost like a prerequisite of the franchise that it has to look fantastic, has to look original, has to evolve, as you said earlier, on the original aesthetic. And it's 2099, which is interesting. It's 50 years later, so they've got the opportunity there. It's not like it's set in 2019 or 2049 where they have to stick to that already determined aesthetic. So yeah, I'm interested to see, and I think the slow burn pace of it will lend itself more to the episodic format. So I'm definitely excited for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. I'm not too gassed for it, but at the end of the day, more Blade Runner isn't a bad thing for me. Yeah, I'm a fan, dude. I need to watch those. Another thing, dead quick as well. I just want to show some appreciation for it. The first 10 minutes of Blade Runner 2049, how good was Dave Bautista in those scenes, man? Holy hell.
Yeah, he's awesome. It's such a good scene.
It is, man. When
have you seen the short films that were done as a bridge?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the short film that explained how he got caught, right?
Yeah, one's animated, I think. One kind of gives backstory to the rise of Neander Wallace. One gives a little bit more insight into, what's his name again?
I can't remember, but yeah, it did explain.
Sapper Morton's his name. Yeah, they're really cool, and I think you can only get them. They're probably on YouTube now, but you can only get them on the physical release. But yeah, the opening scene's great. I watch it so many times. It's just so cool.
Yes.
It's just so noir. It's so Blade Runner. Like it's more Blade Runner than the original Blade Runner.
The worms and stuff, and the smell of garlic and all the worms, and then he's grabbing him and slamming him through the wall and stuff. And it's like, oh, dude, it's just such a well done scene. And who would have thought it as well? But Dave Bautista, he's a good actor. Who would have thought it?
I know. It's like, do you know that scene was supposed to be in the original?
No, really?
Yeah, so it wasn't in the original because of the budget constraints. They didn't think they could create like the farm, the synthetic, because it's a protein farm, isn't it? Because obviously 2049, they fly over it and all that, and you see the scope and scale of the builds on the kind of world building and all that, and it looks fantastic. They felt they couldn't do that justice with the budget, the CGI and whatnot. I'm sure that was the reason. So it didn't get included, but that was the reason they included it in 2049.
Oh, that's amazing!
Like, do it again. Obviously, in the original movie, it was going to be Deckard that did this, and that was going to be the introduction, I believe, to him. So that the replicant he was retiring though would have no bearing on nothing to do with the Nexus 6 ones that he goes after. So they thought, well, let's write it into the story of 2049, and obviously it's linked to the overall story in that one. But yeah, that's where it came from. So it's pretty. I'm sure there's like a storyboard for it from the 80s that is pretty much shot by shot, like how it looks in 2049.
I love that, man. There's stuff like that. That's just great. Wow, I had no idea. Like Predator has done like similar things.
Yeah.
The whole River Ghost thing. I mentioned it in my spoiler review for Predator.
Great review, by the way, mate. Really, really good review.
John. Oh, thank you. Yeah. The original Predator design was eventually called River Ghost. It was Jean-Claude Van Damme playing as the Predator. It had a different design, but eventually they used that design for other aliens and stuff. And I love it when they used recycled stuff, so to speak. And what you just said there, that's incredible. I had no idea. That is awesome. Love it.
Yeah, check it out yourself. I mean, I think I'm pretty on the mark with it, but just read up on it yourself to get the full details. But I'm sure it was. I'm not sure if they even maybe filmed it or tried filming it. And then quickly abandoned it. But yeah, it was supposed to be in the first one for sure. But yeah, your Predator one was really cool, mate. I really enjoyed the review, and I enjoyed the live stream because there was loads of nuggets came out like that. So I knew about Jean-Claude Van Damme. I knew that he was I knew that he shot scenes, and I knew about the original design, but I hadn't made that connection. So see that whole the connections that you made to Predators, was it?
Mm-hmm.
The design of the kind of Predator dog things, how much they looked like the.
It wasn't the Predator dogs. It was a separate alien that got dumped on the planet in Predators. There was a separate.
Sorry. So like that flew. Although I knew what the original design looked like, straight over my head, didn't even realize that was like a deliberate intention. And then I hadn't really realized either how similar like the new design of the mask, the headpiece of the latest Predator, really inspired by the original.
I think it is the skull of that alien. I think it is. It looks so similar to me. Plus, in the background of that movie, The Predator, during the Halloween scene, you will see a kid in the background wearing a Halloween
costume. With the red, like the really cheaply made tights on.
Exactly. Yeah. It looks very similar to Jean-Claude Van Damme's costume and shit. It's awesome. I mean, I hate that film, The Predator Blue, but that was quite a funny reference. And I noticed that because I am one hell of a loser, nerdy bastard, okay?
Oh, you're in good company, mate. You're in good company.
Thanks, man.
I don't call myself the Electric Geek for nothing.
Yeah.
Right, mate, we're close on the 2 hours. I did say I would only keep you 2 hours.
So good, man.
Are you good for a little bit longer, or you want us to go another 15 or so, maybe? And just because I was wanting to ask you what you've been what you're most. Have you seen any of the kind of latest movies that are out of the cinema, or what you kind of excited for in the next what's out now or the next 6 months?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm now excited for The Hitcher on 4K. That's what I'm excited for. Holy moly, I did not know that. That is awesome. But anyway, I recently, I'll tell you this because you did ask what my thoughts would be when I finally see it. I watched Nope recently. I watched it a couple of nights ago.
That's right, yeah, I did. Yeah.
So yeah, you want to know my thoughts, and yeah, I liked it. Jordan Peele, I seem to have unpopular opinions with his films because I'm a big fan of Get Out. but I didn't think it was the masterpiece, the Oscar-worthy masterpiece that everyone else said it was. I liked it though. However, his next film, Us, which polarized loads of people, I thought was bloody remarkable. I absolutely was infected by it. That's definitely my favorite film of his. I thought it was wild. I don't remember her name, but the main woman in it, who plays as the protagonist and the antagonist, I thought she deserved 10 Oscars. I thought she was remarkable in that film. And then I saw Nope, and I liked it. It might be my least favorite one out of all of his films. Maybe.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It's good though. It is good. It was unique. It's a very unique take on an alien film, that's for sure. All of its slow bits did not bother me. I liked it. It gave the whole film room to breathe. It was pretty disturbing at times. I mean, the intro with the dad, that did kind of get to me. A little bit, yeah, and all of it really was pretty solid overall. I thought it was quite a quirky, unique film that had loads of different genres combined, like Western, sci-fi. It's all strange. Yeah, I liked it.
Feature kind of feel to it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it has the strangest bloody bad guy I've ever seen in a film. I was not expecting that. I did not expect it to be like that type of thing, if you know what I mean. I knew it was going to be UFO because it was all over the marketing. But when I saw eventually what the whole thing was, I was like, oh, Jesus, that's weird. I liked it.
I did not see the when it kind of reveals, it's not to spoil it for anyone, but when the thing, the antagonist, shall we say, reveals itself.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them going that way visually. And it's strange because it has this kind of like really sleek sci-fi UFO people and design at times, but then it's also depicted in a very animalistic way. You think in a very primitive, it goes about things in a very primitive way, but it's very sophisticated at the same time. So it's a weird mashup. I'd love to know I'd love to get a hold of the Blu-ray or whatever, because I've got the Blu-rays I've only got the Blu-ray for Us, but in Us, Jordan Peele's quite liberal in talking about his inspirations for things. I find them really interesting to listen to as a filmmaker, and I'm quite sure he'll give a lot of the inspiration behind that antagonist. So,
oh yeah,
I'm interested to see what the inspiration for it was, and kind of where the ideas came from it visually. But no, I'm glad you liked it, mate.
No, I did. I liked it, man. Yeah, it was solid. Dude, there's no debate. I'm getting that 4K Blu-ray when it comes out. The first one, Get Out, I own it just on regular Blu-ray. I bought it recently. Just didn't see the need to get it on 4K. But Us, I bought that on 4K. That had to look perfect on my 65-inch TV. It had to, man. A film like that.
I don't think I'll be getting. I'm totally with you. I've got Us on regular Blu-ray, yet to pick up Get Out, but I will just probably, given the type of film it is, I don't think it needs the 4K treatment. But yeah, Nope, with being shot in IMAX and stuff. There's some scenes towards the end of that movie that in the cinema were absolutely fantastic. Like,
nice, man.
Visually so satisfying, so tasty. So I'd really like to see that. And I've Jeff at Films at Home just put a review up for it, which I've not watched yet. But he just from the thumbnail, he's raving about it. I think it's got the IMAX ratios, which is getting rarer and rarer with 4K Blu-ray. So I wasn't going to pick Nope up straight away, but I think that might have changed my mind a little bit.
The one other thing as well that I've got to voice my opinion on, because I'm so upset about this. It looks like we're not getting Prey on Blu-ray, on any type of physical media.
I don't understand it, mate, and it's pissed off so many people. I see so many people on Instagram and YouTube talking about it.
Like, dude, I swear to God, I lost like 5 more inches of hair when I found that out. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, like, you can't do this to me, man. What are you talking about? Dude, I own everything like on 4K when it came. Apart from The Predator, I own it all like on 4K. I'm an avid Predator fan, man. Predator's in my top 20, if not my top 10. I adore it. I wanted that looking beautiful, man, on 4K on my Blu-ray shelf, man. Look, nah, I don't know what they're thinking, man. Disney are being so silly, man. They really are.
I know it's madness. I understand the shift. I get, especially Disney when it comes to like, if you watch my videos, mate, I get pissed off with the fact that like that the Disney stuff does come out in 4K. The stuff that gets released at cinema does, but it comes out, or they put it on Disney Plus like 2 to 3 weeks before it, sometimes a month before it, and I'm like, give the disc a chance. Like, see these people that are doubling down. Chances are, right? See the people that buy the discs. You and I, the enthusiasts, we also, am I right? We also subscribe to the platform, right? So we're like, well, I'm assuming you do. Do you have Disney Plus? Yeah. So we're the best customers because we pay twice. We pay streaming and then we pay for the physical release, right? So I see us as like a higher tier. Not that I'm trying to be elitist or anything.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
From a business point of view, we are the people that are giving them stupid amounts of money.
Mhm.
So we're the perfect customer. So why not like keep that customer that pays the extra money even sweeter by giving them a bit of exclusivity, you know? So it comes out in the 4K Blu-ray, boom, it comes out in 4K Blu-ray. Let's be generous, call it a month. They're not going to go any more than a month, I get it. But like a month before, the only way you're seeing this in 4K is on the Blu-ray. Or, you know, something like the Blu-ray will come with IMAX ratios. The digital stream won't. And that's like, and then you might also get people that are sitting on the lower tier that only subscribe going, well, I've got a PlayStation 5. Do you know what? I love that movie. I love Nope. I'm going to get the 4K disc as well because I want to see I know that's not a Disney film, but I'm just using that as an example, you know? So I don't get it. That's my big gripe with it. If you're going to bring it out in disc, give it a chance. Put it out. Give it 2 weeks, a month exclusivity. Put something on the disc, be it Dolby Vision, be it IMAX ratios, be it special features. Market it on the thing saying, you know, this particular commentary or making of is only available on disc, so that there's something that the person that's spending that extra money has that little reward, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what I would do.
I filmed that. There's a YouTuber who I've started following recently called Films at Home, and
that's Jeff. That's the guy I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Didn't know that's what you're on about. Sorry. Yeah, he did talk about like it would be a good idea if Disney only made Blu-rays for people who ordered them. So if you order it, that's when it gets made. So that way they don't lose any money. Makes sense to me. I think it would be great, and I want that physical media. I'm tired of like Disney and Netflix like deciding what I can watch and when I can watch it. I want that sense of ownership.
It's a good idea. I haven't seen that video. I watched quite a lot of stuff. I haven't seen that, but no, I don't see why that wouldn't work. Do it as like not the way like crowdfunded stuff does it, where it's like, right, okay, there's going to be a 4K Blu-ray for Prey and a Blu-ray tier for the enthusiasts. You've got 3 months, 2 months, whatever it is, to order. Once that 3 months is up, that's it. We've got, say we get 1 million orders for Prey on 4K. maybe that's being optimistic, but like, boom, we print 1 million discs for those people, and that's it. What those people do with them, sell them, whatever. The only way you're getting that now is the second-hand market.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to lose any out it, and they're going to make a million's worth of like sales. So
plus, how much money are they worth now? I think they're going to lose out on anything. They're worth tens of billions, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't get it. There's a massive market there for it. People say it's dying out. It obviously is. It's not dying out. It's just getting more and more niche. But I think the physical media industry is still a $1 billion industry. My understanding, multi-million anyway. So it's not as if it's making peanuts. It's just me and you that's buying it. There's obviously millions of me and you over the world that are still doing it, and I'm going to be buying physical media for the foreseeable. Hopefully, a few more years. So if there's loads of guys like you and I out there, there's still a market for it, and that's before it dies and becomes cool again, which all these things do. So we've not even got to that stage yet.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. I won't be content until I have like a library of this. You know what I mean? I want thousands of Blu-rays. I want it all there ready for me, man. Like that's what I intend. I want a whole room dedicated to this shit. And I'm going to be contributing to this like crazy. And considering that I very rarely buy anything secondhand anyway, the Hollywood, they're getting my money. They're getting my money. So they got no excuse. They're getting all of my coin.
No, I like it, mate. I like it. See, yeah, people think I'm just like totally law abiding. My mates anyway, when I'm like, oh no, you know, I don't even like streaming illegally or anything like that. I just don't do it. Not even so much because I'm like totally law abiding, but one, I like things in the best quality.
Mm-hmm.
And two, like you, I'm passionate about movies. I'm passionate about cinema. I'm passionate about physical media. And how can I be genuinely saying that I am if I'm undercutting it? If I'm the minute you start streaming illegally, people say, "Oh well, you know." I hardly think Disney or Fox or Warner Brothers are going to go bankrupt because you've chose to stream the movie, Andy. Yeah, but it's a drip effect, isn't it? Like I chose to stream it illegally. If we're all doing that, then it harms them, which means they're more careful with how they go about it. Do they then make the decision to release it on streaming straight away, which puts the cinemas in it so they don't lose out on money to piracy, so they don't release stuff in cinemas. I'm a bit scared about the future of cinema, to be honest. I think with COVID, it's kind of no one really seen it coming, but it's almost brought about the death of cinema.
It has. No, it really has.
It's so sad. Like I've got so many fond memories of going to. I still love going to the cinema, and already we're seeing the only things you can see at the cinema now are things that will definitely bring in the money, which isn't necessarily films that are critically good. So you know, it's like your superhero, your blockbusters, your Black Adams, your MCU films. Not to take anything away from them, I enjoy those types of films as well sometimes. But it's a shame that we can't go and see indie stuff, or like The Northman gets released and nobody goes to see it, kind of thing. They'll just wait for it to come on streaming. So yeah, it all ties in, and everybody has to do their bit with regards watching things legitimately, mate. So I like to hear like that's your stance on it. We had a chat about that before. You said you don't even buy it from second hand, and I thought, you know what, I respect that. I like the idea that you like your money to go towards the war effort. So
it's not just that; it's also the fact that I usually get the best quality. I mean, the CEX stickers. I actually had to watch your video. You actually did a video where you showed how to get the stickers off. Why am I don't like having to watch a video in order to learn how to do it. But yeah, that bothers me. Usually the slip covers, which I do like, are ruined by the stickers and stuff. So I'm like, dude, if I go to HMB, I don't have to deal with that. That's why I do it. Yeah. But nothing wrong with buying secondhand though. There's nothing wrong with it. Go for it. If it works for you, go for it. It's awesome. You're contributing to something good anyway. Go for it. It's good stuff. But I just prefer not to. It's just a taste thing. There's no sense of superiority with what I'm doing. It's just what I want to do.
For me, the secondhand stuff like CX and whatnot, eBay, is like sound like a total anorak here, but there's a little bit of a thrill to the thrill of the thrift, right, as I like to call it. So it's like going in and finding something in the wild, as people in the kind of blue tube community like to call it, is quite exciting. Like going in and like it's. You don't know what's going to be there. Is it, something that's just popped up and you think, oh God, should I get it? Should I know it? What if I come back next week and it's away? Is it a good price? Kind of like that Thief. That's how I got that copy of Thief. Like I wouldn't have been able. I missed that. It was out of print. So if it wasn't for the secondhand market, I wouldn't have been able to get it. So there's an element of that for me. It's like it's the sportsmanship.
I see what you mean. I get why someone would laugh at that. But at the same time, ridiculous. I see what you mean, though.
Yeah, it's like going fishing in it. And like, oh, look what I caught today. Like maybe if I came on a different day, that fish wouldn't have been in the water, but it was today. So it's that kind of element, and I think I'm not alone with that. So. But yeah, if I can get something new because that's annoying, get the sticker damage. I'm with you with that, mate. But yeah, I hope it's here to stay, mate. Guys like keep it propped up anyway.
There's one more thing as well that I wanted to ask you as well. What have you been watching recently? Like, what are you excited for? Oh wait, sorry, you put someone up.
Yes, so Richard Ross, Warner, and some others print discs on demand in the USA, so easily done by Disney. I didn't even know that Warner.
I didn't know that. That's great.
No, cheers, mate, for letting us know that. But no, it should be. I mean, we've already kind of talked about it there. But yeah, maybe it is what will happen if Richard, if you're saying that it's already happening with some studios, then it sounds like we'll see more of it, and we might start to see it in the UK as well. But no, I'm up for that. Anything that gets people what they want. Gets Badger his 4K Prey. If it comes out in 4K, I'll be buying it as well.
Oh hell yeah! I'm a massive Predator fan. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. So what I've been watching, mate, films wise, I kind of want to see Black Adam. through like morbid curiosity. I know it's. I kind of thought it'd probably be Pants. He seems to be getting reviews saying it's Pants, but I'm a big Bond fan. I grew up with Pierce Brosnan as my James Bond.
Same.
Yeah, he's a bit of a childhood hero of mine. So, and he's not a good actor, Pierce Brosnan, right? I'm not kidding anyone on. He's not that good, but there's an appeal to it. He seems like a really nice guy as well. With the evolution of social media, I see more and more of him just on a personal level, and I just think he's really cool, really nice dude. So I kind of want to see Pierce Brosnan in action, and he's getting, of all the kind of bad praise he's getting, he's not among it. He seems to be getting praised for his role as Dr. Fate. Yeah, I'd quite like to see Black Adam.
I've seen the mid-credit scene. That's what I've seen. It accidentally got spoiled for me online, so that's what I've seen of it.
What chance have you got when bloody fucking Dwayne Johnson's spoiling it for you?
It is what it is, though. It's not really my scene, all of this, but it looked okay, the film. I'll probably check it out one day.
It's not. I know you're not big into superhero films. I'm not kidding anyone on that I'm not into it. However, I have gotten a bit tired. I know the phrase Marvel fatigue gets some people's backs up, and it maybe is a bit overused. But I think for me, it's more just superhero fatigue in general, to be honest. Love it all. It's great. And it's a great time to be a comic book fan. I love comic book stuff. But yeah, I'm just getting a bit battered to death with the kind of the formula, the rinse repeat formula. Kudos to Disney for what they're doing. More and more kind of, as much as they're drowning us all a wee bit with the Marvel content, there is signs of like them trying to be unique and trying to, like that. I've not seen it yet, but Werewolf by Night's getting a lot of praise. She-Hulk has kind of went in a crazy direction. I've not seen it all, but
me neither.
People seem to love that just as much as they hate it, which I think is a sign of change. It's a sign of them trying to do things differently.
Just means to go and watch it and see what you think for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm just getting a bit tired of it, and I'm enjoying going back actually, because as much as I'm into my films, I'm not the oracle, I'm not the be all and end. I don't know every single movie, as we've established tonight. Some of your favourites I've not even seen. I don't pretend to be someone who's seen everything, or market myself that way. So I'm enjoying going back and watching back catalogue of directors that I've enjoyed and I've not seen their earlier work, or actors, Rutger Hauer we were talking about earlier. So yeah, I've been kind of enjoying that, and I'm on a bit of a break. Not on a bit of a break, but I'm not certainly as excited as I used to be for these big superhero releases. But I watched TV shows wise. I've been watching House of the Dragon. Loved House of the Dragon. Thought it was great. Didn't know what to expect. Enjoyed Game of Thrones. I thought it might be kind of a bit of a cheap cash in, but I think it stands on its own 2 feet and it's really, really, really good. Mm-hmm. You been watching any TV shows?
Not full on. Not. I do watch them every now and again, but I'm not too crazy for them. I sadly could not get on with Game of Thrones ever. I tried it, couldn't stand it, didn't get the appeal, so I gave up after about 3 seasons. I was like, nah, I just can't connect with it. I did recently watch that show Dahmer. I finished it recently, and Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was pretty much fantastic, but I'm a strong empath, like in real life. I really am an empathetic guy, and I can't deny it, man. Seeing all this horrible stuff happen, after like 10 episodes, it was getting to me. So it took ages to finish watching it. And I was only watching it because I was in like a Halloween vibe, really. And I started watching it. I was like, man, this is dark. This is horrible, man. And it was getting to be. So it took a long time to actually finish all 10 episodes. So I saw it recently. It was great, but whoa, it was just getting to me, watching these innocent people getting fucked up. What I have been doing there recently is getting into my anime, because I've never really managed to get on board with it. And I've recently been watching my Blu-ray of Dragon Ball Z Kai, and it's taken me like bloody decades, but I'm finally getting into it, and I like it. So that's what I've been watching TV wise. But yeah, it's not common that I watch TV, like shows or anything. So there is one more thing as well that I want to quickly express some excitement for. obviously you're a gamer as well. Have you ever played the Silent Hill games?
Through my fingers, yes. Looking through my fingers, yeah. I'm not a shy guy when it comes to like horror, and especially. So actually, the guy who was commenting there, Richard Ross, before, is a good childhood mate of mine. He lives down in England, so I think it's maybe London. So I don't see as much. But this has been really cool because since I did YouTube and stuff, we've kind of like got back in touch and we're texting every now and then. So that's cool. We used to play like Resident Evil. Or he used to play Resident Evil when I used to watch because I was scared of it. So now I would be like he's like co-pilot almost. So taking the front of the scales and stuff, but I'd be the map because you know the maps are quite, and especially Resident Evil and Silent Hill. I'd be like his memory, so I'd be like, oh no, you've not done this, or you go through there and left and then right and then through that door and that takes you to the safe room and stuff. So we used to kind of play it together, but he would be on the control pad and I'd be like the guy in the chair.
Oh yeah.
So I do remember Silent Hill, and I know I take it you're talking about the remake, mate. Just before you jump into that, another comment. So Mirror Kisser is my brother. So E.G. Badger, how are we, lads? Just tuned in. I'm good. Mikey, it's my brother's Mikey.
Good man.
Mikey will be on the channel at some point, I'm sure. But no, we're good, mate. Thanks for joining us. We've not got. We'll probably go another 10 minutes, mate. 11 o'clock, and then I'll let Badger off the hook.
Cool, man.
Thanks for joining us anyway, Mikey. Yeah. So Silent Hill, mate.
Yeah.
Barry Burton for these.
Who's Barry Burton?
Richard Ross. He's obviously heard. Barry Burton was Resident Evil. Do you remember? Barry, where's Barry?
No, I haven't played loads of the Resident Evil games. I've played some, so I've missed out on that one right there. Didn't get it. Yeah, no, Silent Hill. I played them pretty late. I've played 2 and 3, and I played them about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, for the first time, and I was surprised by how much they aged fucking well. I really liked them, and I thought they were pretty creepy. And I was already a fan of the original film based on the games. And I ended up liking the movie a hell of a lot more after playing the games. I thought the movie was bloody solid. The problem was, though, with that film, even though it was so faithful like to the game and all that, sadly, it ended a bit on a cliffhanger. And then you watch the sequel to get some more closure on the cliffhanger, and the sequel was god awful. I think it was Silent Hill Revelations, I think it was called. But I don't
think I've seen the sequel. I remember watching the first one. Who's the female in it? Is it Melissa George?
I can't remember her name. I can't remember, but she is a good actress. Sean
Bean was in it as well.
Sean Bean was in it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but she was.
I remember quite enjoying it. I think it's like the only reason I had been watching a horror film back then is because there was like video game tie-in, because I wouldn't have went out of my way to watch any kind of horror film. Was obviously just because I was interested, having played and experienced the games. But the games, like you say, were like for their time, and even now, were like compared to Resident Evil, which they probably get compared as almost like spiritual successors to, different level of like scariness. You know, the creepiness in Silent Hill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Playing those games, you know, like the way they build the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Horrendous. So I'm probably not replaying the new one, but I'm glad that it's getting the remake, you know, for guys like yourself, the next gen.
This is what I'm happy about. I only found out the other day that not only are they doing like a remake of so damn straight. Yeah, not only did I find out that they're doing a remake of Silent Hill 2, but they're also doing like more Silent Hill games. But on top of that, they're making a brand new Silent Hill movie, which is directed from the guy who directed the original Silent Hill film. And on top of that, he's deleting the second one, Silent Hill Revelation. He's doing a sequel to the original and saying, fuck off, that sequel to my film did not happen. And I'm so happy about it. Christopher Gans, I think that was his name. He was this French guy who freaking loved the film so much. And he ended up sending like a big, long video of himself to the game company, explaining why he wants to do a film based on it. And that's how he got the rights for it, because he sent the videotape to them explaining his love for it. And
I love when fan love wins over.
That's what happened. And plus, what impressed me the most as well is that all of the creepy monsters that got translated from the game to the movie, He got a load of dancers, like a load of flexible dancers and all that, to be put in makeup and all that, to do the weird contortion movements and all that. It's brilliant. He really cared. My only real complaint with that film was that the monsters didn't get enough screen time. I thought they should have been used a hell of a lot more. But either way, hopefully he'll fix that with this sequel.
I need to watch it again. It's been a long time. I can't remember anything about it. I just remember quite enjoying it. But
it was good. It's a good film, man. I like it.
Early 90s, 2004 or something like that, is it? Maybe 2004, 2005.
2006 was mm-hmm. I was there.
Yeah, I probably watched it then, and I haven't seen it again, so I can't really remember. But yeah, there's loads of good stuff gaming wise coming out. You gonna be playing? I know you're gonna be playing this because I know you've done his voice before. You're gonna be playing Ragnarok. I think Ragnarok's a day one for me.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Of course.
I know you've done a bit of Kratos, haven't you?
Yeah, my Kratos voice impression is like my most popular video. It's got almost 11,000 views, and that's pretty good for me. So
I've not had a video like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's that one's doing well. And yeah, even though I'm not this mega God of War fan, I was still inspired by that recent God of War game, and I liked it a lot. And I'm looking forward to this Ragnarok in a big way. And it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. It's going to be great.
I can't wait to play as well. There's lots of good stuff coming out. Ragnarok. I fancy Gotham Knights as well, even though it's been panned. But I love the Arkham trilogy. Love that. So I'll probably wait on it going down in price, and I'll pick it up and I'll play it at some point. But yeah, looking forward to Ragnarok. Trying to think. And that's about it, really. I've got so many games in the back catalogue that I've not been near, but we could be here all night talking about it, and I appreciate we've ran on a bit, so
it's okay, man.
We'll probably we should probably kind of wrap it up there, mate. But yeah, listen, mate, thanks very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. I know we've been trying to organise it for a while. I've really enjoyed speaking to you on the stream tonight, mate, getting to know you a bit better.
Yeah, you too, Andy.
And I hope that everyone that's been watching is taking something from it and enjoyed it. And if you're joining it for the rewatch and you've stuck out this long, congratulations and cheers. But remember, as I say, the link in the description. Please check out Badger's channel, hit up his Instagram as well. Send him some love from Camp EG.
Thank you.
But yeah, we've been Electric Geek and Badger Fips. I'll let you do it. I really want you to do your sign off, Badger. You have to do it when we proper sign off here. That you doing your catchphrase,
mate. Oh, you mean my YouTube thing?
Yeah, your YouTube sign off. We have to have that. But yeah,
I'll do it.
Thanks, man, for coming on. Hopefully, we can do something else in future. Maybe get Ellis on, do a kind of multi thing. We'll kind of deep dive something or something like that. But I've enjoyed this casual one tonight. It's been a pleasure coming on.
I don't want to collaborate with that guy ever again. If I see him rolling his eyes when I mention Unbreakable again, he's gonna get the fist, man. He's gonna get the fist.
Well, as I said, it's a safe space here, man. You can always talk about it. Delegate side of it.
Cool, man. And it's great. And yeah, as I said in it, I did definitely want to come on here. I wasn't blowing smoke. Not only have I come on while I'm ill as hell, and
which I appreciate, mate.
It's all good. But on top of that as well, my room is all empty because I'm still in the process of moving house within a week. And I've got loads on, and I still took the time to hang out with you. So I told you I wasn't blowing smoke. I meant it.
No, I appreciate it, mate. And I know you did. You said that, and you texted today saying that you were a little bit under the weather. So I appreciate you getting the big boy pants on, mate, and getting it done, getting it done for the channel. But no, I appreciate it a lot.
Me too.
Hold you back any longer. And for everyone watching and that's commented tonight, thanks very much. I really appreciate it. We're dropping another video next week. I've got a Blade Runner Enhanced Edition game playthrough, which is kind of new for me. Part 1 dropping next week. Doing a forecast, and there's plenty of 4K stuff. Top Gun Maverick's coming out, so I'll be doing an unboxing, a deep dive into that, no doubt.
Nice.
As well as all my usual. What about yourself, Badger? Anything that we can give people a sneak preview of on your channel?
Not really, because right now, currently busy moving, and I'm not going to have any time to make videos for a while, sadly, because in my new place, I'm not going to have internet for a while. It's going to be crazy. I won't even be able to celebrate my 31st birthday within a week. I can't even celebrate it with anyone because I'm going to be
Halloween. Is it on Halloween your birthday?
Day before Halloween, pretty much. Yeah. No, sorry, 5 days, not 6 days, 5 days. Yeah. So
turning 31 on the 31st.
Yeah, no, I'm turning 31 on the 30th. So yeah, I can't celebrate it because the next day I'm moving house. Can't get drunk or anything. So I'm gonna be mad busy. Sadly, I cannot plug in a project that's coming out anytime soon. Or I might film with my best friend. I might do another Blu-ray buying vlog.
I enjoyed that other one, yeah. I enjoyed the one you did with your mate that was going away.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I've done that a few times. I even did one video for HMV because my favorite HMV closed down, and I had been going there ever since I was a small child. Like, I remember back in the day, I was playing their display case of Nintendo 64, and I was playing Mario Kart 64 at HMV and shit. So many memories of these places, and it closed down. So I did a long video dedicated to them, buying from them one last time and stuff. So I was hoping to do something like that for my birthday. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll post a vlog of that. Other than that, I have no idea what videos are coming up on my channel anytime soon because I'm going to be mad busy. But
all the best, mate, with your move. I'm sure it will go well. I hope you still manage to enjoy your birthday. But folks, don't be put off for that. He's got plenty of content on there as it is, so there's plenty of stuff to get stuck in the meantime. But yeah, I've been Electric Geek. He's been Badger Phipps. Badger, sign us out, mate.
Thanks for watching, guys. Stay jiggy. The Badger appreciates you. Wow. Oh, yeah.